There is one new tornado warning for Oklahoma. There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Kansas.
This is a tornado warning.
And you can see that little bit of a hook echo here. Weather spotters confirmed this one, so somebody must have near Pumpkin Center. So this is one of those situations, I think, where somebody got lucky and saw the tornado because, you know, the sun's about to go down there. Things are going to be very hard to see here before too long. But this is likely where the tornado is, probably on the southwest side of the storm. You can see kind of that hook kind of look. And again, it doesn't look that bad on the velocity, so I don't think we're going to have a situation here where we have a big, violent, long track tornado. In fact, the velocities looked a little bit worse right about the time. Yes, right here, Cody. Right when they issued this warning. You can see them, they were really tightened up. When you see that green and red color right next to each other, that's how you know that we've got a tight rotation. So the way that this velocity data works, and I know we're looking at a bunch of this stuff, and actually this is Brandon right now. We've gone to the video. Forget the velocity data because it doesn't look that great. This is a spotter confirmed tornado. We cannot see the tornado on this video. Yeah, this is a live shot of the exact storm that has a confirmed tornado with it. Some spotter out there saw a tornado. I don't see one here. We've got a pretty good look at the storm.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Kansas and Missouri.
It's kind of that mothership look to it, if you've ever seen the movie Independence Day. This is Corey Gherkin. He's on, I believe, a different storm than Brandon is on. Corey's on a different storm. A lot of lightning there. Again, the sun's about to go down. And he's making some moves there, trying to get in position, so maybe he can get a shot of something before the storm goes down. This is Vince Welty, Okarche, Oklahoma. Look at this. The camera's automatically switched over to the night mode there, and you can see the lightning really well within the rain that's falling there on the bottom of your screen. Another humongous shelf cloud. So, you know, very often when you see a shelf cloud, that's indicative of a storm that's kind of bowed out with its structure. And that's what we're starting to see with these storms. They're really starting to congeal into these clusters and lines of storms rather than the one individual supercell that can spin up and create this long-lasting tornado. But we've got embedded supercells here, so just to give you an idea of what I mean by that, you've got a big cluster of storms, and within that cluster, you have a supercell right here. It's tough to pick out to the untrained eye, but here's your hook echo, just southwest of Duncan. Duncan is a place where I would say, let's get in your tornado shelter right now. There was also some rotation in this a little bit farther toward the west, a couple different areas of rotation in this particular storm. Again, the Weather Service is saying a confirmed tornado based on spotter reports, and we've got our storm tracker, Brandon Kopic, on this particular storm, Comanche, Oklahoma, and I'm not seeing any tornado, at least right there. The view is... Oh, he's a little bit too far south. Okay. Oh, I see the locator right now. I didn't see this, guys. I'm sorry. Thank you for pointing that out. So Brandon is down here, and I think he's trying to catch up to the tornado, which would be farther up toward here. Okay, I see what's going on here. So Brandon has a good view of the storm. He just probably is not going to have a very good view of where the tornado is unless it ends up being a long-lasting tornado. Now, I will say with the history of this particular storm system today, as compared to yesterday where we had very long-lasting tornadoes that were very easy to see on radar. This has been more of a messy situation. There's just so much.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Wisconsin.
Trouble getting their act together. Now, you know, it's not over till the fat lady sings, as they say, and I'm not ready to stick a fork in this one yet because we've still got several hours to go. We just had a new tornado watch that was put out that goes out until 3 o'clock in the morning. This is the rotation tracker here. This gives you an idea of where the strongest rotation with this particular storm has been, and it gives you a good idea of the path that it's taken as well. And what you notice is that the rotation is actually not that intense with it right now. Now, keep in mind, this is based on radar, and the storm could be kind of far away from the radar, and we'll take the ground confirmation over what we're seeing on radar any day of the week. But if you compare this to some of the storms that we had yesterday, where even when they were kind of far from the radar, you could see these rotations just perfectly. So, yes, It's a confirmed tornado. We're going to treat it as such. Duncan, Oklahoma, you guys need to get in your tornado shelter. We also have a tornado warning that is just east of Wichita Falls. It's right along the Red River, so it includes part of Oklahoma and part of North Texas there. Let's zoom into that one. Let's check the velocities on that as well. This is yet another embedded supercell within that long line of storms. This is the supercell itself right there. If we were to have
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Kansas.
Close to where the hook echo is. And I'm just telling you, as somebody that's seen countless hundreds of thousands of radar images, I'm not seeing anything too impressive there on radar. So I'm not saying that the Weather Service isn't doing something right. What I'm just saying is I'm glad to not be seeing an intense rotation and a big debris signature on radar or anything like that. There is some rotation in the storm. It's possible that it could drop a tornado at some point, so we'll take it seriously if you live in some of those spots.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Iowa.
Tornado warnings that we have on the board. Real quick, Cody, let's go up to the north. I've been keeping our Midwest friends with us. I know I grew up in southern Wisconsin. We've got to give some love to these guys because this is a humongous storm system that's affecting so many people. You see no tornado warnings up here, but what you do see are severe thunderstorm warnings. I've been actually watching this. Southern Wisconsin has had several reports of hail up close to an inch, a couple reports of some hail that was a little bit over an inch. Kansas City actually just recently had a thunderstorm wind gust of 60 miles an hour, and we've got plenty of hail in pretty much all of those storms, okay? So, yeah, maybe the tornado threat not quite as high as you get farther up toward the north, but there's plenty of severe weather. And by the way, yesterday, a tornado tore through parts of Nebraska, leaving a path of destruction in its wake. This was a suburb of Omaha. It was on the west, in the west suburbs of Omaha. It's called Elkhorn, Nebraska, and they were right in the path.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Illinois and Iowa.
Nicole Valdez spent the day in Elkhorn, Nebraska, as the community picks up the pieces.
Among the horror here in Elkhorn, Nebraska, a miracle after a monster tornado tore through dozens of homes, but no one was killed. Hard to believe as you take a look at some of the homes here in this neighborhood alone. This home leveled, others left with collapsed roofs, walls torn to shreds, windows and doors blown out by the force of that violent tornado. Families here taking cover in their basements, shielding each other as that massive cell moved towards this community, leaving thousands without power and hundreds of people without a home. A similar scene in Lincoln, Nebraska, where one violent tornado crossed over I-80, flipped semi-trucks, derailed trains, and
there is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Michigan.
Inside a warehouse. Again, incredibly, everyone there is okay. We met the Long family in Elkhorn on Saturday morning who watched as that twister touched down just a few miles away the night before and made its way straight for their home. Troy made a split-second decision that may have saved his family's life.
The sirens were going off and we were all in the basement, and I came upstairs to the second floor and
there is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Iowa.
Coming and destroying houses over there. So I ran downstairs and gathered up everybody. We jumped in the truck and I drove that way as fast as I could away from it. And it was just right here on 4th Street, which is really close. Probably shouldn't have done that, but I'm kind of glad we did that. Our kids didn't have to go through that.
And the Long family now stuck picking up the pieces, looking for anything salvageable inside the home they spent less than a year living in. Of course, now they're leaning on the army of friends, families, and neighbors who have spent much of their Saturday morning here helping them clean up and get through the next very painful few days. In Elkhorn, Nebraska, I'm Nicole Valdez, Fox Weather.
Thanks, Nicole. This is a Fox Weather Alert. We have active tornado warnings in northern Oklahoma right now. This one is one of the more particularly concerning velocity couplets that I've seen on radar throughout the entire day. I know if you've been watching us for the last little while, we keep jumping from tornado warning to tornado warning, and I'll look down at it and I say, well, that doesn't look too bad on velocities. I guess that's pretty good news. This one actually looks pretty bad. Let's zoom into this one, Cody. This is east of Ponca City. This is in northern Oklahoma, correct? Yeah. Okay, northern Oklahoma. So this is the border between Oklahoma and Kansas. This is one of the most impressive velocity signatures that I've seen all day.
There is
So
one new
I think
severe
there's a good chance that there
thunderstorm
could be a
warning for
tornado down with
Wisconsin.
this one. It's a little far from the radar, so I don't think we need to look and see if we can see any debris. I mean, why not? Why don't we do that, Cody? Let's check the debris product on this and see what it looks like. Is that a debris signature? Well, let me circle this real quick.
There are
Let's
two
stay
new
on
warnings
the-
affecting
let's
Kansas
stay
and
on the left
Nebraska.
frame. I'm going to circle the area that could be possible debris. It's probably not going to be that area, actually. Hang tight. Let's put the reflectivity on now. And yeah, that's embedded within high reflectivity. And where is the velocity couplet? A little bit farther toward the east. That's a tough one. That's a tough one as a meteorologist to look at. I would say there's a chance that there's some debris showing up on radar, but the Weather Service hasn't put a confirmed tag on it quite yet. It's a nasty circulation. It's a very strong mesocyclone. Again, keep in mind here, the radar site's going to be farther up toward the northwest. And so what you're seeing here is the green colors are showing where the air is moving toward the radar, and the red colors are showing where the air is moving away from the radar site. So that is your counterclockwise circulation right there, okay? Let's go to Vince Welty. Okarche, Oklahoma is where he's at. I'm not sure if that is this exact storm or not. Maybe we can look into that. Got some amazing lightning that's visible from that storm. By the way, on the tornado warning I was just talking about, Frankfort, Oklahoma, and Cedar Vale in Kansas. You guys should be in your tornado shelters right now, okay? I'm a little concerned about this storm. I'm curious if the Weather Service is going to upgrade the warning coming up pretty soon. But what I also want to do here is look at the forecast. Okay, so we've been very focused on the nowcasting, because obviously we've got active tornado warnings and things like that. But I think we have a lot of people watching who are wondering, how is this thing going to pan out for the rest of the night? Well, I think we still have several hours more to go of severe weather. The latest tornado watch that came out, which actually includes a big chunk of Oklahoma, that goes until 3 a.m., okay? So still parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, North Texas, western Arkansas, western Missouri, you guys are under the gun for these nasty storms that could still produce tornadoes, and they also still could produce some very large hail and damaging wind as well. I don't know that my clicker's working, Cody, if you want to...
This is a tornado warning.
It's going to become just that. You've seen we've had a lot of individual storms, and it's gone from individual storms to clusters of storms. And now, as we get into the next several hours, I think we're going to get some more linear storms with embedded supercells within that line of storms. So within those embedded supercells, that's where you have the highest chance at seeing rotation. And basically what happens is that as we get into the several hours after midnight, that's when we'll start to see the severe threat go down. So we're going to have this big leftover area of storms that, you know, they'll be nasty storms. They'll be loud. We'll have wind gusts over 40 miles an hour at times. A lot of them will be below severe limits. We might have some small hail in some of them. But those are going to be dying down during the morning tomorrow. And then we're going to see the refiring of more storms. I know we've had a lot of severe weather over the last couple of days, guys. This is day 3 out of 4. We had pretty significant stuff on Thursday. Obviously, yesterday we had the historic, I'm going to call it a historic tornado outbreak. I don't care if people like that or not. I've seen a lot of tornado outbreaks, and that one's going to be remembered for a while. It wasn't April 27th, 2011. It wasn't the super outbreak of 1974, but a very significant tornado outbreak that we had yesterday.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Wisconsin.
Lightning here on Brandon Kopic's shot. Waurika, Oklahoma is where he's at. Oh, man, as this sun goes down, and if you've ever been storm chasing before, I've only been a couple of times. Sad to say, I really do enjoy storm chasing. I've been stuck in studios for a lot of my career, but this is one of my favorite parts. When the sun starts to go down, you just look at the storm, you see that beautiful lightning. Maybe you head to a restaurant and talk about the day, have an adult beverage or two. This is Corey Gherkin near Chickasha. The sun's just about down there. The sun's been down on the East Coast for a little while now. We're here in New York City at Fox Weather. We've had a busy couple of days, guys. Let me get back to the forecast real quick because I left you guys hanging on tomorrow. There are going to be some more storms that fire up during the day tomorrow. So we'll have these leftover storms that will be around during the morning. Those are going to die down. And then we've got a level 2 out of 5 risk. So compared to today and yesterday, I guess that's a little bit of a better forecast, meaning the severe weather doesn't quite have the potential to be as bad as what we're seeing today, and of course as what we saw yesterday.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Oklahoma.
The central and southern part of that threat area, but it's more the timing that I want to get that point across to you guys, because these storms that'll be around in the morning, they're going to die down. That's not the main event for tomorrow. They'll die down, and then we get the refiring of some storms after some further destabilization of the atmosphere during the middle part of the day. Okay, so this is tomorrow, 6 p.m. I think the storms are going to be a little bit more linear tomorrow, meaning damaging wind and hail, I would say, would be the number one.
There is one new tornado warning for Missouri.
Embedded within that line of storms. It's not out of the question, and we know how the atmosphere's been over the last couple of days. It's been just extremely active. So here's the good news. After we get through tomorrow, guys, we catch a little bit of a break. I know we're right here in the middle of severe weather season, and it has really lived up to the time of year that it is. And of course, today's a historic day, April 27th. Back in 2011, 13 years ago, we had a generational tornado outbreak. Luckily, today has been nothing like that. It's still not over yet, so stick with us here on Fox Weather. We've got a lot more to cover, including the chance for some severe weather tomorrow, which we just talked about. But I'm going to get to the latest on the tornado warnings that are in progress right now. We have a couple of them. We've got a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings. Severe weather outbreak is in progress, guys. I'm going to go through it in detail as soon as we get back. Stay close.
This is a tornado warning.
Stay tuned to get this ultra nonstick bakeware set and these razor-sharp chef's knives free from Granite Stone. Has your old set of pans lost their slick? Does everything get baked on, burnt on, and stick? You know you need a new set, but the prices are so high it's obscene. Well, say hello to Granite Stone Emerald Green, a kitchen full of the most durable ultra nonstick cookware at the most affordable price anywhere. Granite Stone Emerald Green is the fast, easy way to make your family 5-star cuisine that's delicious and lean. No oil or butter needed. Granite Stone Emerald Green is constructed from a hard aluminum plate and coated 3 times with our durable ultra nonstick Granite Stone Emerald Green finish. They're oven rated up to 500 degrees and come with vented tempered glass lids to prevent boilover. Plus, all Granite Stone cookware is 100% metal utensil and dishwasher safe. Look, you'd expect to pay up to $500 for a professional quality cookware set. But during this special TV introduction, you can get the complete Granite Stone Emerald Green set not for $5, $4, or even $300, but for the factory direct price of just 5 easy payments of $39.99. And for everyone who orders today, we're going to drop 1 payment. You get it all for just 4 easy payments of $39.99. And here's the offer you've been waiting for. We'll include this razor-sharp 6-piece knife set to prep quick, and they're all non-stick, free. But there's even more. You'll get our 5-piece bakeware set, the fast, easy, ultra non-stick way to bake up your favorite desserts. Together, they're an $80 value. Yours absolutely free. That's an incredible 21-piece Granite Stone Emerald Green set, all for just 4 easy payments of $39.99. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free. Order now.
Call 1-800-393-3705 or go to emeraldset.com. That's 1-800-393-3705. That number again is 1-800-393-3705 or go to emeraldset.com.
This is a Fox Weather Alert. We are in the middle of a severe weather outbreak. This is day 3 out of 4 of a lot of severe weather that we're going to have in the plains in the Midwest. Obviously, yesterday we had a tornado outbreak. Nebraska, Iowa, parts of Texas. It was a rough day yesterday for a lot of people. Luckily, so far today, even though we have had some confirmed tornadoes, it's been nothing like yesterday as far as the amount of tornadoes or the populations that have been hit. We've had a lot of severe weather today with big hail. damaging wind. We've had, we've had confirmed tornadoes today. It hasn't been a slouch as far as a tornado day goes. I want to show you what's going on right now because I mentioned we're right in the middle of this. And I still think over the next couple of hours we've got some pretty dangerous stuff ahead. Let's start off with a tornado warning that is southwest of Oklahoma City. This is just east of I-44, including the city of Rush Springs in Oklahoma. All right, there's a spot where you want to be in your tornado shelter. It's the north end of a cluster.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
Very often when we talk about these supercell thunderstorms that create tornadoes, a lot of the times they'll be by themselves, an individual supercell or a discrete supercell. In this case, this is more of an embedded supercell, and this one's actually starting to look pretty nasty. And just in the meantime here, we've got some really pretty lightning that is going on in this storm near Waurika, Oklahoma. This is Brandon Kopic. He's been doing a lot of great work for us over the last couple of days. An amazing storm tracker. We've got a great team of storm trackers here, and he was near Waukira, Oklahoma. This is Chickasha, Oklahoma. This is Corey Gherkin. He had a big day yesterday. And, oh, man, look at the color of that lightning. You can see some of that orange flash there. It's always fun at the end of a day of storm chasing for some of these guys. When the sun goes down, you can watch that beautiful lightning show because it gets pretty tough to chase the storms after the sun goes down. If there were to be a tornado, really the only way you can see it is when it's illuminated by the lightning. Now, let's get back to the radar because this is, again, in Oklahoma, east of Lawton, just east of I-44, a town called Marlow. That is the place where I really want you in your tornado shelter if you're watching us in Marlow right now because even though this is not a confirmed tornado warning, I'm looking at the velocity product on this, and Cody switches over to that, and that's actually a pretty solid little couplet right there. There's a lot of violent wind in that storm. At the very least, you're going to have some very strong wind gusts, probably in excess of 70 miles an hour. And, in addition to that, some pretty big hail in that storm. So let's treat this as if there's a tornado down. Rush Springs is a spot where I'd be in my tornado shelter if I were you. Lowest level of your house. You want to get the closest.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Wisconsin.
Staircase. It might be a bathroom, it might be a closet or something like that. Obviously, ideally, if you have a basement, you want to be in the basement. But if you don't have a basement, just get to the lowest level of your house and put as many walls between you and the outside.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Kansas.
So that's one active tornado warning that we have. We do not have any tornado warnings with the confirmed tag on it right now. Okay, obviously some good news there. This was one that had a pretty rough-looking velocity couplet on it not long ago. It's east of Ponca City, Oklahoma, and it's about to cross over into Kansas. This is the state border between Oklahoma and Kansas. Granola was the town where that.
There is one new tornado warning for Kansas.
A little chunky here, but I can tell you, even though you see all that pink and purple color, that's just radar junk. There is definitely a couplet underneath there. You could follow it, and it's right there. So Cedar Vale, that's one spot where I'd start thinking about maybe getting in your tornado shelter. I know we had actually a pretty bad couplet that went over Dexter not long ago. Actually, it was probably a couple of hours ago, so I suppose it was pretty long ago at this point. But this is a storm that's going to move toward the northeast, so it'll be around Otter.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Kansas.
Etc. Those are spots where that storm will be affecting you within the next 20 to 25 minutes or so. All right, what else do we have, Cody? Let's zoom out and just give people, an overview of just what's going on with this whole storm system, right? Because we've been so zoomed in, sometimes you can lose your bearings a little bit. Even I lose my bearings as we're looking at these storms. We've got a new tornado warning that is in western Missouri. This is very close to I-49. I want to zoom into that one and take a quick look at it before we go into a little bit of a recap of what happened yesterday. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around for that because there is some unbelievable video, some of the craziest video I've ever seen in my career. Okay, so we're zoomed in here. This is Mount Pleasant, Missouri, right along I-49. It looks like the circulation is crossing I-49 right now, and I'm just eyeballing this. Yeah, I would say probably right there, or yeah, we get even closer into this. Yes, right here. That actually looks like a very significant couplet. Okay, it looks very small. Again, to the untrained eye, you might not be able to pick this up. Let's zoom in even more to this, Cody. That's what I would consider a very significant radar couplet right there. There's a good chance that that is a tornado on the ground. And can we put that in motion real quick, just so I can see which direction it's moving? Probably from the southwest to the northeast. I guess it's kind of moving east-northeast. So let's quickly put a track on this before we go to the package, because I want to give people some warning on this. It's going to get pretty close to Route 18 here pretty soon. afternoon. A couple of spots where I need you in your tornado shelter. Altona, it'll be there within the next 10 to 15 minutes. And I would say White Oak, just be on high alert. No tornado shelter yet in White Oak, but we're going to watch this one closely, see how long it lasts. Luckily today, a lot of these spin-ups have not been lasting as long as they lasted yesterday. Speaking of yesterday, Fox Weather is your severe weather headquarters. We've been with you since the beginning of this outbreak. And I have to tell you, some of these exclusive looks at the severe weather that you won't find anywhere else.
There are 3 new warnings affecting
Yesterday was
Kansas
one
and
of the
Oklahoma
most
and
crazy
Texas.
days of my career. I used to work in Huntsville, Alabama. I have seen a lot of tornadoes. I've covered a lot of tornadoes. Yesterday put it all to shame. It was one of the most insane tornado outbreaks that I've ever seen. We put together a little compilation of the videos of some of the things that we captured live on Fox Weather yesterday. Listen to this. Oh my gosh, okay, hold on a second. We've got a tornado on camera here.
We were just looking at.
Yeah, look at this. That's the storm we were just looking at. Okay,
There is
so
one
this
new
in,
severe
near
thunderstorm
Lincoln,
warning for
Nebraska, and
Kansas.
Look at that. That's actually a tornado on the ground. Now, initially you might think it's just a funnel cloud, but then you look down at the surface and I believe you can actually see some debris. Yeah, that's on the ground.
Yeah, they're going to have to report this to the National Weather Service because that's actually not a confirmed tornado right now. So once these reports come in from the storm trackers, you're going to see that go from red to pink, indicating confirmed tornado warning.
Well, you saw it here first. I mean, our storm trackers are amazing.
Look at the structure on that.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, you can see the wall cloud that extends from the base of the storm.
You mentioned the
look at
debris. It's even much more well-formed at this point.
You can see everything now. You can see the condensation funnel in the middle, and then you can see the debris cloud, which is a little bit wider. And depending on what it goes over, you know, it'll go over some dirt, and then you'll see a bunch of that getting thrown around, and then it might go over some grass, and you don't see as much debris. I'm not seeing pieces of structures, which is always a good thing.
That was the point to make. It looks like a chain link fence right side of the screen, but other than that, keep in mind this is a storm that just kind of buzzed the tower of Nebraska's capital in Lincoln. So we're north of town, north of the interstate, thankfully, because that's growing even larger.
That is just an absolutely perfect view of a tornado that's in progress right now near Lincoln, Nebraska. Now, again, it's tough to tell because there are a couple of trees in the way of the view, but I can't tell if there are any structures down there. Hopefully not. But look at the contrast in the color there between the cloud base and look at, and okay, now they're going to start moving a little bit.
Too, yeah, Corey, of course, is keeping in mind his own safety. It's easy to stare at these things. This has given us a little bit of a better vantage point, Ari, as to where it actually is.
And you can see how violent that is. Now, you can never just look at a tornado and know, you know, what the EF rating is. That's always based on the amount of damage that it does. And just to give you guys some perspective as far as where we are looking at here, this is still west of Omaha. It's not far from Lincoln, Nebraska. It's actually near a town called Davie, Nebraska.
His locator's back on the screen now, bottom left of the screen. So he may actually still be on the interstate looking north.
Okay, so that's where he has the view from, and that would actually make sense if he's looking north because you can see the sun is kind of illuminating everything from the left side of the screen, which would be the west this time of day. But that is a live tornado that is in progress in eastern Nebraska. You saw it here on Fox Weather first. Now, of course, the National Weather Service has confirmed it, as we've been able to confirm with our eyes for a little bit. Look how high the debris is flying around in there. And
there is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
I mean, that is violent at the surface. Once again, I don't see any structures down there, at least right now. I mean, what do you see, Ian?
Thank goodness.
Oh, actually, never mind. That just hit a structure. Oh, my goodness, look at that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this is not good.
We're just getting a word from Corey. He's reporting significant damage from this. We didn't see that.
Yeah, now that it's a clearer picture, we can actually see. I mean, there are pieces of structure. Look at on the top left side of this tornado. That is a huge piece of debris from some kind of structure that's getting tossed way up into the storm. That is a large, violent tornado. Look at the motion on the ground with that one.
Yes.
And there are not many trees around, so you can see this whole thing perfectly. I mean, just look at that. And it threw that whole piece of debris. You can see on the right side of the tornado. Look at that.
You see some of these cars that are pulled over as well. Folks are obviously looking off in the distance. This, to your point earlier, isn't rain wrap. Thankfully, there's a clear indication of this. This is becoming more and more intense.
Yeah, we've got the audio now. You can hear a little bit in the background. And to me, it looks like the tornado is kind of moving from right to left, and it's moving very quickly. And these guys are about to get a very close-up view of it. They might have to be careful here as they roll up on it.
This is approaching the road.
I think it's going to cross the interstate pretty soon, if that's where they're on, if they're on I-80.
If we can get word from Cody if he's still on the interstate, he probably is. There's a Walmart semi.
Yep. Look at this debris.
Okay.
Look at this debris.
This is Interstate 80, and it's about to cross the interstate.
Just we can just watch this as it happens. This is about as good of a view of a tornado as you'll ever get. Look at this.
Okay, so we've got another storm tracker vehicle. This is awfully close.
Very close. They're going to get a little bit closer, it looks like. Take it easy, guys. Be careful.
These are live pictures coming in from exclusive Fox
Look
Weather
at it
storm
crossing
tracker Corey Gerken.
interstate right now.
This is a tornado crossing Interstate 80 in Nebraska.
Tornado.
You can hear the
There is one new severe
Those
thunderstorm
vehicles
warning for
way
Oklahoma.
Too close for comfort, Ari, as that tornado is now crossing Interstate 80.
Well, this is what they do for a living, and I have to say that, you know, I'm happy that they do it because they give us great pictures like this, and this gives people
There is
an
one
idea
new
of the
severe
environment that we're
thunderstorm
dealing
warning
with
for
today.
Michigan.
I mean, these are the types of storms.
We're losing a direct look at the tornado itself. You can see some debris still falling out of the sky.
I mean,
very eerie to see that.
The tornado's hundreds of yards off the screen right now at this point.
There
and
is
you can
one new
still see
severe
debris. Just to give you
thunderstorm
an
warning
idea
for
of
Missouri.
How large the wind field is in these things, right? It's not just the condensation funnel. It's not just the thing that you see in the movies, you know? There is a humongous wind field around these tornadoes. So even well after it crossed the highway there, you could still see debris flying all over the place. That was unbelievable. Look at the size of that thing.
Look.
That is a big stovepipe tornado.
Wow.
In Nebraska.
This is a live picture, guys?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so now Corey's pulling over. He's given us a vantage point of this. That's a classic a look at a tornado. This looks like it's CGI.
That thing is absolutely violent. Here, take a listen to this. You can actually hear the tornado. Look how far away it is, and you can still hear it. Listen to this.
Oh my God, guys. Shit, that's in full blown.
Unbelievable. Yeah, you just saw that live here on Fox Weather. Yeah, that was the most unbelievable day of my career. I've been doing this for almost 20 years, and yeah, I'm still kind of winding down from it. I've never seen something like that. The storm trackers, just an unbelievable job by them of getting up-close views of the tornado. And yes, it's interesting to see as a meteorologist who's interested in severe weather.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
When people watching this see that, they'll take the warnings a lot more seriously. So we really appreciate what the storm trackers are doing there. Guys, we still have a lot of active severe weather going on right now. We've had a lot of action today. We've had multiple reports of tornadoes. We've had multiple confirmed tornadoes. We've had hail up to baseball size. Knox City, Texas, that was earlier. A couple wind gusts over 60 miles an hour. We've got active warnings that are going on right now. Not only severe thunderstorm warnings, but some tornado warnings. So we'll do a little tour of the radar. We'll go around and we'll get you some details on where the worst storms are right after the break. Stick around.
Are you over 50? Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Then call now and get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers, from a leading financial firm on maximizing your income in retirement. This book reveals little-known secrets about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that can help you make the right choices before buying an annuity. And if you call right now, as a bonus, we'll throw in a free annuity rate report. We've researched over 1,200 annuities summarizing the rates and benefits for you. So don't miss out on this opportunity because supplies are limited. Call now and find out how you can get up to 33% more income in your retirement, and you'll receive Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report as an added bonus. Both books are yours free, just for calling Annuity General today.
Call 800-257-3901. That's 800-257-3901. Again, 800-257-3901.
Whether because of discomfort, lack of mobility, your lifestyle, or occupation, you sit inactively way too many hours a day. Introducing Ellipse, the premium quality automatic seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts
There is one new tornado warning for Missouri.
It is so quiet that none of my coworkers even know I'm using it.
Strengthen and tone your legs, increase your mobility, flexibility, and balance. Plus, stimulate healthy circulation.
My joints feel better, my knees feel better, my back feels better. It makes me feel stronger too.
Perfect for home therapy. Whisper quiet to use while you work.
My circulation is moving, I'm burning calories, and it makes me feel energetic.
Call now and order Ellipse, the seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts circulation. Call and get upgraded to the Deluxe Bundle. Get the faster motor for 5 miles of steps per hour, the step counter, the sport mat, and wireless remote. Call now.
It's gonna hit this house.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna hit the house.
This was video shot earlier today in Kendall, Kansas. I keep mispronouncing that city, but yeah, you can see that it did pretty significant damage there. Went right over a house. You can see some farm equipment there that looks like it was damaged as well. This
isn't a tornado warning.
Tornadoes we've seen today have been wrapped in rain, meaning that you really can't see them because there's so much rain around them that they're invisible. In this case, this one was separated from the core of precipitation, and it actually picked up a lot of dust, so it got really large. All that dust and debris flying around it, it was quite a scene to see. We saw a lot of stuff like that yesterday, with just some huge tornadoes that were very long lasting. Another thing with the tornadoes that we've seen today, and I know that's extreme destruction, and that's a really bad thing to see, but the tornadoes today have not been quite as long lasting as the tornadoes that we had yesterday. Yesterday we had, you know, these tornadoes that would be on the ground for 50+ miles. The Weather Service is still doing a lot of work surveying them, and I'm sure they'll be out surveying that one as well. We've got a severe weather outbreak that is still ongoing. So far today has not really turned out to be a tornado outbreak as it had the chance to. I don't think I'm ready to quite stick a fork in it yet, though, because we still have tornado watches that are out until 3 a.m. for parts of the plains. So the Weather Service, the Storm Prediction Center, you know, still talking about how the air is still very ripe, even though the sun's gone down now. So we don't have as much destabilization of the atmosphere. Storms are still popping, and they're still moving into an environment where it's very volatile, and there's a lot of upward vertical motion. So we're going to have some very big hail in these storms, at the very least. Keep in mind now, the sun's down, so we've transferred into kind of a nocturnal storm mode. We'll have some damaging wind gusts. We'll have big downbursts in these storms. Anytime these storms get so tall, you can get these downbursts. That creates the straight line damaging wind. And we still have active tornado warnings. In fact, I see several of them right now.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Michigan.
This was the newest storm that had a tornado warning on it. There's the reflectivity. It's moving east of I-49, Blairstown and Clinton, Missouri. Those are spots where I would be in my tornado shelter right now if I were you. Remember, lowest level of your house, the closest to the center as you can possibly get. You want to put as many walls between you and the outside as you possibly can. And once again, the velocities kind of look like a mess. These have been very messy storms today. Sometimes when there's just so much turbulence in the atmosphere, it can be a little bit tough to pick out where these rotations are. And actually, you know, when you go back, it looked like there were kind of two areas of rotation right there. Right there, And even when you go back, oh, are we going to stop it here? Here we go. There. Oh. We're playing tag. It's like whack-a-mole. Okay, we've got 1 and 2. This was a little bit earlier on in the loop. This was when the tornado warning was first initially put out, and then we put it forward in time. You can see again there were 2 circulations there. Now
there is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
But you can see this this rotation that's a little bit farther toward the south has actually lost a little bit of strength. It's still there. This one still looks decently hefty. I think that's a pretty significant rotation. But those are the rotations that were the cause for that thunderstorm or for that tornado warning to come out from the National Weather Service. By the way, Vince Welty, bottom left of your screen. The sun has gone down now, so the storm chase is getting pretty rough. And it hasn't been a huge tornado day, at least for these guys. I know a lot of our storm trackers, they had a lot of luck yesterday with some really large, easy-to-see tornadoes. We had a lot of rain-wrapped tornadoes today, and now the sun's gone down, so the storm chase, I don't know when
there is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Kansas and Missouri.
Maybe they want to go see the light show for a little bit longer. Now, I mean, that is pretty cool to see, to be honest. That big cloud-to-cloud lightning that you just saw, it completely lit up the storm. You can see the bubbling cumulonimbus clouds. So that is one tornado warning that we've got. Let's go to another one here real quick. Cody, I think a little bit farther toward the south and the southwest, Oklahoma, we've got tornado warnings that are in effect. We had one storm that was right on the border of
There is
Oklahoma
one new
Kansas.
severe
Now
thunderstorm warning for
Kansas, so this is just
Oklahoma.
north of Hendricks. This is the border between Oklahoma and Kansas. And so we're zooming into this storm. This one's had a tornado warning on it for a while. Let's check the velocities on it. By the way, there's some pretty big hail in it as well.
There is one new
that's a pretty
tornado warning for
significant,
Kansas.
rotation right there, okay? So let's treat this as if there's a tornado down. It's not confirmed yet. This is a radar-based warning, but places like Caneyville, I think this is going to pass a little bit northwest of Summit. You guys should be okay, but if you're on the
This isn't a tornado warning.
spots where I really need you guys to get in your tornado shelter right now. So we've still got a lot of active weather that is going on as we speak. You said A43 there? A73. Okay, so I was at the right spot. Sorry, a little inside baseball there. Those are the active tornado warnings right now. We've got another one that's a little bit farther toward the east in Kansas. We'll take a look at that one in a little bit. Plenty of severe thunderstorm warnings throughout the plains. Any of these storms, if you get caught in some of these storms, you're going to have big hail. The radar has shown us that we've got hail that's at least 1.5 inches in diameter. That's bigger than quarter size. You're talking close to golf ball sized. So it's just something to be prepared for, okay?
There are 2 new warnings affecting Kansas and Texas.
We are now going to go and show you a violent wedge-shaped tornado that tore through towns in southwest Iowa. This was video from yesterday, Minden, Iowa. One of the couple of very significant tornadoes that we had. That's a wedge tornado right there. This town, by the way, just 100 miles west of Des Moines, it was one of the hardest hit cities yesterday. This tornado caused a lot of significant damage. Almost a third of the homes in this small town took significant damage. Fox Weather's Brandy Campbell is actually in Minden, Iowa with an update. Brandy?
We're in Minden, Iowa after a large wedge tornado spun through this community, devastating most of it. We can take a look at what's left. This is the aftermath of it. You can see large trees snapped like nothing. Homes have been destroyed, windows blasted, roofs ripped apart. One jarring scene. This home right here, you can see it's a white house, devastated, but it's no longer on its foundation. Just to the left, you can see these bricks, holes. That's where the house once was. So it's just an example of what residents here had to deal with, and it's not just residents but businesses in the farming industry that have been impacted. So now we're in the community talking to folks to see what it was like.
It was pretty, I don't know, traumatic. We didn't know for sure if it was going to hit. You just never know with tornadoes. So we did take cover at my sister's house because we don't have a basement. Just hoped and prayed everything would be okay. We were one of the lucky ones.
But unfortunately, not everyone was so lucky. We met Randy Davis, who lived in the home that was removed from its foundation. Thankfully, he wasn't home.
It's kind of crazy. I'm trying to stay in good spirits with it. You know, it's one of those things that you can only do so much. You know, it wasn't where I left it, so you know, so I got a lot of support though. A lot of my friends are helping out. I'm also relieved that, you know, like right now there's a zero casualty count, which is a miracle.
Now, Iowa officials are saying the town of Minden received the most damage during yesterday's tornado outbreak. Governor Kim Reynolds came by Minden to do a tour and speaking with residents. She said of the 180 homes there, about 40% were destroyed.
We talked to a couple of residents that were really impressed with the warning system. They had plenty of advance notice to take shelter, and so we appreciate all that goes into that.
Now, this wasn't a first for the small town. I asked the mayor about that, and he thought back to 1976.
That was the last time.
Let me tell you got a guy here that's a mayor that had his home impacted and 2 or 3 businesses in the community who's gone through it twice. So not only is he managing the community, but he's dealing with personal loss too.
Reporting from Minden, Iowa, I'm Brandy Campbell.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
Some absolutely unbelievable damage there, and it's no surprise to see, considering when you looked at those tornadoes from far away, just how massive they were. The incredible amount of violence that was going on within those debris clouds. It's really unspeakable.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Oklahoma.
TV, because after you've been through a few of these events and you cover them, you see the video of the tornado, you see the debris flying around, you know that there's going to be significant damage. And then the video starts to trickle out, and you say, oh my gosh, look at how much of this town was leveled. I mean, it's just crazy how much damage they did. And now we're in the next phase of this, where the National Weather Service has been out there doing a lot of surveying, okay? They have found at least EF3 damage in a couple of these tornadoes, and don't be surprised if they find a little bit more than that over the next couple of days. It's possible. I mean, I can't predict it for sure, but the eyeball test, we have definitely seen some pretty significant damage in those guys. The Weather Service has their hands full with these surveys that are likely to take several days. Now, we do have active severe weather going on right now. We've got tornado warnings in parts of Kansas and Missouri. I'm going to go through them in detail for you. We'll take close looks at all these storms. We'll look at the velocities. We'll let you know which ones are the worst. That's coming up right after the break. Stick around.
What's up, guys? What I'm about to show you is going to change the way you shave your head forever.
You can shave your head in 90 seconds or less with no cuts or nicks.
Introducing Remington's new and improved Balder Boss. With increased flex and 5 dual-track floating head design, get over 60% more head coverage for a faster, closer shave and skin-close results. And only through this exclusive TV offer, now you can try it in your home for 30 days for just $14.99. Balder Boss is the fast, easy, safe way to shave your head, wet or dry, in 90 seconds or less, without nicks or cuts.
No nicks, no scrapes. Fit in the palm of my hand, and the results were amazing.
The 360-degree pivoting neck contours closely around your head curves for maximum contact. Anytime,
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Kansas.
With exclusive wet tech technology, shave in the shower, or with any foam or gel. Japanese-grade steel blades and turbo power plow through the thickest of hair, yet gentle enough it won't irritate skin. With pure lithium power that lasts up to an incredible 60 minutes. That's like 1 full month of use without a recharge. Then easily rinses clean. There's even a pop-up trimmer to complete your perfect groom. Now you can try the Remington Balder Boss in your home for 30 days for just $14.99. But wait, order now and we'll ship it to you absolutely free. You can also get our ear, nose, and brow trimmer for the ultimate groom. Free. Just pay separate processing and handling. Every Balder Boss comes
in the back system coming in. Corey, go ahead.
Yeah, Aaron, now you're looking back to that area of rotation that you were talking about. Doesn't appear to be no type of funnel or anything on the ground there. There is a little bit of a lowering there, but that's about it. Just on the west side of Lindsay by maybe a quarter of a mile. So we're on the highway. Once we pull over here and we'll let this vehicle go by and we'll get a better shot of it. Those headlights kind of kill the night vision, but if you hang with us here for just a second, we'll get a shot here with the night vision.
Man, that's a really good.
Okay, we should be.
Yeah.
Should be able to get a better shot of it there, Aaron. The little ring is just right on top of Lindsay right now. There's nothing. I'm going to zoom in here. I don't see any funnel or anything in there associated with the lowerings. You can see if you look at the structure of the storm, there's a nice little top of Lindsay, so definitely going to be some damaging straight line winds moving through Lindsay right now.
Is near Lindsay coming in, and Corey's kind of zooming the camera in, showing us what's going on as far as that storm is. And yeah, there's a lowering. There's kind of some striations or some little bands in the cloud, showing the whole thing is continuing to rotate. As of right now, there is no tornado warning for that are on our radar screen right now that are approaching and moving into the Oklahoma City metro. There is, however, increasing. So you're going to be hearing the thunder. You're going to be seeing the lightning flashes outside, and Corey's stream continues to show, at least, that there have been some lowerings or some parts of the cloud that have gotten a little bit lower.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
The Oklahoma City metro. So there's Oklahoma City and the south. Some of those colors coming up, the oranges, the reds. There is some lightning in there embedded over toward Yukon, toward the Minco area, and then even parts like Arcadia, Choctaw, Hera in the north and east county are seeing thunderstorms. None of those are severe. The severe thunderstorms now exist off to the south and southeast of Oklahoma City. So Lindsay is basically right in the thick of it right now. And, I'm going to switch this over to radar. We're going to look here, kind of a broad view of what we've got on Lynx 1. So that the bulk of the thunderstorm activity, the severe weather, is basically all south and east of I-44. That's a really big severe thunderstorm warning polygon that you see right there. All the green counties, those are going to be your tornado watch boxes, and those basically all the way from about Lawton and Cache all the way up to Ponca City, Stillwater, and Kingfisher. However, we do have a strong thunderstorm over Alva right now. It is not severe. That's in Woods County, approaching off. That is not severe. It is strong. Expect some nickel-sized hail with that. And by far the strongest thunderstorm is a complex that now extends basically from about Lindsay to almost Norman River. So that does include Mustang, Tri-Cities areas, and now pretty soon approaching the Moore area, rather. The Moore area, starting to see lightning rates starting to pick up.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Nebraska.
Right now, he's approaching Cole. He's moving farther north along this line. There appears to be a little bit of there's kind of a little bow out there near Lindsay. That's a signature for some high wind and possibly some circulation. Let's go to Connor Toon. He's watching things carefully farther off to the north.
Aaron, we're to the north, further north on this line segment, running parallel that are to our west. Pulled up here. So
there is one new tornado warning for Illinois.
We're further south, like you said, towards Cole, but looking with our camera and with our towards the Blanchard area. And at this point, we've sort of lost visibility to any section of the storm. It looks like just a whole bunch of heavy precip to our northwest. We're kind of in the, so it's a little bit harder to get visual. But aside from that, we are going to really and get east of this section in Blanchard. Back to you.
Appreciate that. We're doing some work on your picture right here, but we of what you're seeing down there south of the Oklahoma City metro. So up above here, there's a radar situation. We had a couple rounds of thunderstorms moving through. Let's go to Matt.
This is a tornado warning.
Another little one kind of regenerating near the Woodward area. That's in Alva right now. So that's the big picture for northern Oklahoma. The severe weather threat is really winding down. But it is still kind of there as you look Oklahoma City and points south. This will continue pushing gradually off to the east and south. They're into the night right there. And a little closer inspection here as we go over to links. We'll go ahead and kind of draw this out for you. Start in the Oklahoma City Metro. We'll start a little bit farther off to the north because folks are kind of tuning in.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Oklahoma.
And there's been a lot of, we call them bolt from the blue. Doesn't thunderstorm or even that it's raining. But if you look carefully here, there's been some lightning bolts that have happened. There's one K4 Studios right there. You can see on your screen. Not much rain there, just a little bit of drizzle. And then one just west of Oklahoma City's downtown near Midwest City and Tinker Air Force Base. There's a light. That tells us that there's a lot of movement going on up above in the clouds. So even though these thunderstorms are not severe, there is one with some pretty heavy rain moving north of Arcadia. That's going into southern parts of Logan County near Charleston. Not severe. Another one here coming into Yukon and Union City and El Reno. Some of these have already had severe weather tonight and possible tornadic activity near there. And then another one moving over Will Rogers Airport. That does have some lightning with it. Again, these are not severe, but there are moving energy out there. Not as much energy closer to the Oklahoma City metros. We have south where the severe thunderstorm continues. So over toward the Chickasha area, this is now moving. Goldsby is in this severe thunderstorm warning. Approaching Norman and Slaughterville. That severe thunderstorm warning continues, and there is a little bit of a notch to Lindsay that we're watching real closely here. Let's go back to Corey Inman here with his night vision, his roof cam. He's looking around and watching things for us carefully, and oh man, might be another, it's either a bit of a lowering right there, Corey.
Yeah, just as you said that, Aaron, there was a little bit of a funnel that came out of the left side of that. Got pulled over here and zoomed in on it. Kind of hanging there. It's got a little bit of rotation with it, zooming in on it, but it hasn't dissipated. It's just kind of sitting there, sticking out of the back side of that lowering. Out here, the night vision should do a good job. The structure of the storm is absolutely incredible. See, it's
there is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Kansas.
As I pan up, you can see the storm and this thing's open, and one of those things that I love to see in the springtime. These things are incredible looking. Zooming in there, Aaron, I think I'm trying to see flash in there as I zoom back in where that lowering was. Trying to see if maybe that. Yeah, I think we got one on the ground here, Aaron. There's a power flash there, and that funnel looks in the center of the screen. I'm going to continue to zoom in here. There was flashes there right before I zoomed in. So scanning out here and find that funnel. Could have just been high wind, but there were definitely two power.
Watching along with you. Keep it right there. Where exactly are you and which way are you looking? Corey, we're with you here. We're watching your live stream. Can you tell us and everyone watching right now, where are you at and camera pointing?
Yeah, I'm about 6 miles to the east of Lindsay on the northwest, Aaron. So this is going to be to the northeast of Lindsay, the north of Maysville, and go up towards the Purcell area. But I'm about halfway between Lindsay and Maysville right now. Looking.
All right, heads up for Dibble and Cole. Heads up for Dibble and Cole. The rotation is increasing. I don't.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Michigan.
Looking at Corey's shot. Corey, stand by. I'm going to talk to you again here in just about 15-20 seconds. Let's get the pen on here. We can see the red. That's moving away from the radar. So there we go. Notice increased pretty quickly, and the green has always been there, and that's kind of punched out. So north of and that is the area. Corey Inman is just east of Lindsay, and he's looking right area that's now starting to come up, approaching Dibble and Cole. Corey Inman.
Yeah, I haven't seen any more power flashes back in there, Aaron. The southern end of that's starting to push out, and I'm kind of losing that area here, so we're gonna have to move on to the east. But no power flashes since I talked to you last. But that thing means business in there. It's pretty good right before those two power flashes. And like you said, the rotation continues to increase on velocities. We're going to get to the east here and see if we can get a get a clean look at it since that south end of the storm kind of pushed in there.
Yeah, stay right on top of that here. We're going to come to counter two in just a second. If we can go to links 1, I got some time of arrival. Dibble, we're talking about 906, Cole 916. Of course, Cole had a very, the least, last spring. Goldsby at 925 at 9:27 p.m. Near the Cole area, let's go to Connor Toon. He's on top of this. We're watching the circulation that's really starting to tighten up and come up in velocity, Connor. What do you got?
Yeah, Aaron, since I heard Corey say that, I'm kind of just hanging around point. It does look like that sort of QLCS-looking circulation is lifting north, which puts it right in our path. So I'm going to kind of move east a little bit and turn around, give you guys a view of where Corey's talking about. But again, in Cole, we are in Cole, and Corey's down south watching that section. So anywhere in and around Cole, back to you.
All right, appreciate that. As we see here on links 1, as we look at radar that shows us how much rain and hail and things like that. You can
there
see
is one new tornado warning for Oklahoma.
The velocity. So I stopped this right here, and we can see that big S pattern right there. So here we go. I'm going to draw. This is wind coming into it. You can see that kind of curving into the storm. Yep, tornado for it. Okay, there we go.
This is a tornado warning.
And a tornado warning is coming up and being drawn up right now from the National Weather Service in Norman. And animate this. I'm going to put the warnings on so we can watch that pop up together. And let's go to Corey's got a great look at it. Corey, tornado warning right now. It's just showing up on our screen. It does include, it's up to Newcastle, Goldsby, Washington, Cole is red line, center line, and Blanchard as well. Go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, and still eastbound here, almost to Maysville, where we can turn to the north and that area. Had what appeared to be maybe 1 or 2 other power flashes there, right me, but it's, you know, like I said, the south end of that storm's kind of punched in and obstructing our view. We're keeping an eye on it, got the camera pointed right back in there, so if it's something in there and it sticks its head out of the rain, we should be able to see it. But just a couple more miles, we'll be turning north from Maysville, headed north, so we'll be able to get back out in front of it.
Appreciate that. Here, tornado that is basically right over Dibble, moving toward Cole, Washington. Under the gun, also in that tornado warning. We've got a great shot from you, Corey Inman, on your camera right there. And I'm just going to kind of back this camera view out just a little bit. There's the tornado warning. Goes until 9:40. That's for McLean County. It does not include Cleveland County. However, this is a heads up for Moore and Norman. It's really near you right now. You are under no warning, but if the trend continues, it'll continue lifting off to the north. And these have been kind of transient. They come and they go. Those little embedded circulations come and they go. But here near Goldsby and Slaughterville as this continues farther off to the north. Let's go to here. He's a little bit farther off to the north near the town of Cole, which Connor, Cole is right in the middle. That is now going until 9:45. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, once we got that indication from Corey, we've turned around. We are covering Cole now. Cole from the east side, and keep an eye on this QLCS looking feature that's towards our direction. Right now, we've got a view to the southwest. I don't see sort of a tornado right now, but again, we're going to head a little bit face Cole to keep you guys covered. Back to you.
All right, appreciate that. We're going to show folks. It's basically coming right into Dibble, moving right into Dibble, Blanchard, Cole. You know, you need to be in your safe spot right now. Cole was hit twice last year with them was quite strong, and there was a fatality involved. So of course, you know, we want to keep everybody forewarned, but that certainly rings in the mind of a lot of folks as the tornado sirens are likely going to areas Blanchard, Goldsby, Washington, and Dibble. Dibble, it's on top of you right now. Let's go ahead and you know, you look at. It's actually, I'm going to zoom in closer to this. There's actually a couple areas. So near Kreiner, the wind is kind of, and near Dibble, it's kind of coming back. There's a big circulation right over that same area to the north and due north at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. So time of arrival right here, I'm going to kind of has the greatest circulation, 37 mile per hour about. So Goldsby 921, Riverwind Casino and the National Weather Center, which that's on the OU campus, right about 7 to 9:29, and Norman proper by about 9:30 as this tornado warns moving off to the north. Let's go back to Corey Inman. Corey's
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Kansas.
Yeah, Aaron, coming through Maysville now, about a half a mile north, and get a better shot of it for you. But still panning the camera back in there, zooming in it, get a clear slot, and I haven't seen any power flashes in a couple of minutes. There's a feature in there that we've been talking about, but haven't seen any power flashes from the ground. So turn north here out of Maysville, and we'll have a better shot.
All right, appreciate that. Continuing to watch Alec and Kreiner, basically toward Kreiner. That's where we have some of the heaviest rotation in the we see. It's not hot bright green and hot bright red, but it is certainly there. There is a lot of levels of the atmosphere, so it continues moving north. You can see right there coming in the Dibble on the south side, and Cole is not that far away. Cole is about 7 to 8 minutes away from this rolling into town. It's almost moving due. Might have just a tiny bit of a western component, but basically about due north. That puts Blanchard under the gun. It puts Cole under the gun. Tornado precautions away from window. Room inside of whatever structure you're in. If you're in a mobile home, now is the time to get out and go someplace and get just as low as you can. And of course, continue listening to the warnings that we're giving you here. Continues rolling in. Let's go back to Connor Toon. He's in the town of Cole right now. He's got a really good eye, moving right toward his location. We want you to stay safe, and we want everyone in the way of this to stay safe, especially Dibble. Go ahead.
Yeah, Aaron, like you said, we're Cole now. We're having to scoop east a little bit more to keep up ahead of it. It looks like it might east of Cole a little bit, so we're sort of targeting the Washington and Goldsby now, again, to get ahead of it and to keep an eye on it from a safe distance. Back to you.
There is one new tornado warning for Kansas.
Over toward Washington, and while it's over Kreiner right now, you're actually some straight line winds that are going to kind of wrap into this. Look at the lower left-hand side of your screen right over Dibble. So that's definitely some circulation right there. That's fairly low to the ground. Let's come back here to, there we go. So there we can kind of see the red is moving away from the radar. That'd be south winds. The green is going to be movement off to the north, and where that spin is right toward Cole. So you can count the county or the streets right there, about 5 miles south of Cole. It is right over straight line winds, 70 plus miles per hour.
This is a tornado warning.
All right, Connor, you can hear me? Go ahead and jump on in, Connor Toon. He's kind of pulling out a...
Oh, yes,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, again, we are now heading towards the Goldsby area line. We did stop, made a visual assessment a minute ago. It's really a wall of water to our southwest now that it's difficult to make out any sort of a feature. Going to continue ahead, again, towards the Goldsby, sort of the Riverwind Casino area. Intersect here shortly. Back to you.
Another crew heading basically that same direction. That's going to get another look at that as well. So yes, that's a big heads up for the Riverwind Casino. We're going to put a looking at links 1 and this rotation underneath this tornado warning. Still very much there.
There are 2 new warnings affecting Missouri and Texas.
We're not going to let our guard down just because of that. There, and we had some very, some frighteningly low clouds and funnels from Corey about 10 minutes or so ago, leading up to this tornado warning. So if you're just joining us, tornado warning, it include the city of Cole, Dibble, Kreiner. Cole arrival at about, I want to treat that a little bit earlier, so just a couple minutes from now. And Cole, you need to be heading to your safe. Riverwind Casino, it's about 9:29, so these things can speed up a little bit by about 9:25. National Weather Center, OU campus, just after 30, as this almost has a due northerly track with it. It's moving basically right off to the north. This tornadic thunderstorm that's trying to come into the South Oklahoma City area right now. So let's He's kind of a little bit farther off to the south and east of this, but he's still got a good look. He's kind of looking in. Inman, go ahead.
Yeah, Aaron, on Highway 74, north of Mays, towards the Purcell area, just kind of panning the camera in there. The area that when the power flash is on is a little bit further to my north, and with the trees in there, it's kind of, but just panning back here to the west, there's a tremendous amount of wind just Highway 74. You can see a couple of areas where it's trying to pull in some scud.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Missouri.
Any lowering at all further south on 74 area. Just some scary looking clouds in there being pulled in. But just right across 74, we're trying to.
Again, a confirmed tornado on the ground in downtown Conyers. It's a very dangerous and life-threatening weather event. Get into the interior.
There are two new warnings affecting Missouri and Texas.
Basement if you have. And there's the debris right there in the Millstead area near the Rockdale Medical Center. Right. Channel 1 Atlanta.
Just reported sirens are sounding in Goldsby, which is good because of the proximity to the section of the storm that appears to be doing that damage. You've got a little bit of lead time if you're up in the area. Take your precautions, of course. I know the sirens are sounding, and I'm sure a lot of people are about what's going on. You've got a little bit of lead time up here in the Goldsby area with the sirens.
This is a tornado warning.
Okay, approaching the. Can we take that that radar view on the left-hand side of the screen full? I believe
there is one new special marine warning.
It's Max 1. So this is terminal Doppler radar. It gets a scan every minute, and center now is about, I'm counting the streets here, about 2.5 miles and southwest of Cole, and it has tightened up a little bit as of the last couple scans. So developing just off to the west and southwest of Cole, it's going to be really close. Might try to go just west, but we're going to treat it as if it's all of Cole. Anyone around Cole, the neighborhood's there. You got just a couple seconds right now to get into your safe place. It's knocking on the door. It's coming into the town of Cole. And there's already been damage from this in Marlow. Trees, power lines down, damage to the. This is the same circulation, the same storm system that has brought that. Also toward Blanchard. You're in the tornado warning too. All it takes is a little wobble to the west, which a lot of times these do, and it'll be right on top. In Blanchard, tornado precautions, lowest level, away from windows. Try to find a small interior room, and go ahead and turn the TV up, turn it up loud so you can go. Our Warn app, you can follow along online. We are live streaming this coverage right now for you to keep you and your family watching this moving toward the town of Cole. Let's go back to Corey Inman. He's watching this too. Corey. A threatening sight for the town of Cole. At the very least, some large hail, but we're starting to see the rotation getting quite tight. Okay, Corey here in just a little bit. And we're talking back here in the weather. Chief Meteorologist Mike Morgan, we're talking about how this is evolving right here. Yeah, it is. It looks like it is moving almost due west and wrapping up, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
On the ground, looks like.
Yeah. Okay. Take your tornado precautions. We're watching this evolve. Corey, let's go ahead and talk about what you've got here.
Yeah, Aaron, I'm on Highway 74, probably about 6 or 7 miles to the south leading edge on the southern end, just crossed 74.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
Mile-an-hour winds straight out of the west-northwest. So just a damaging winds down the end, trying to make our way up to Purcell so that we can get out in front of that area of rotation.
There are two new warnings affecting Oklahoma and Texas.
Mile-an-hour winds and some intermittent heavy rain. Rain is still back just to the west of 74.
All right, appreciate that report. Watching this, we call it a cloud. It's kind of wrapping up in itself, being swallowed up by all the rain. That's to Lynx 1. You can see a lot of straight line wind right there. Here's Lynx 1. So this is how heavy the rain is. It's right in the middle. You can kind of see the mouse right there. It's right in the middle between. It's getting surrounded by rain, and then you can see it kind of punching out right here. We may have another farther off to the east side, and that would be a little bit closer to Goldsby and Washington. If that does continue, you can see the punch of wind right here. See all that green? That's our next little punch of wind, and that is going to try.
It may have just lifted.
Yeah. Watching. All right, meteorologist Mike Morgan here looking at this, and we're kind of lifting right near Cole, kind of going away. Let's go to John Slater here. He is out again watching things. He is right at the Riverwind Casino, just north of this storm that's really just here right now, hopefully looking a little bit better. What do you got, John?
Well, that's right. We are right here on Highway 9 in Riverwind Casino. The circulation is just to the west. I do want to point out, though, in this type of situation, we shouldn't focus so much on where the circulation center is, because it's the circulation center to the east and southeast that's getting the damaging winds. So this is bowing out, all right?
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Kansas.
It's going to be from the circulation all east, where you're going to get the 70, 80, 90 mile per hour winds. Related to kind of like a hurricane makes landfall, they always say it's from the eye to the east, because on the you have the forward momentum of all the atmospheric winds in your favor there. So very similar to what happened down to the southwest earlier, right, when that storm western part of the state where we had the circulation, but the strongest winds were really on the east side. That's sort of what I'm seeing on radar right now, and the strongest winds are from that circulation right now, and along
there is one new tornado warning for Oklahoma.
East into southeast part of Norman. I think that's where the strongest winds are going. We're watching it very closely at this point. We're not getting the strong winds yet. They're just about ready to come in. We're going to see how strong they are, and then we're going to try to follow it. Back to you, Aaron.
Yeah, we're seeing the strongest winds right now. Goldsby, Washington, Ville, kind of moving in. Good news is that tornadic circulation near Cole on away, so that is really good. It wrapped up really fast. It occluded. The rain kind of washed it out, and we're looking here at Lynx 1. As we can see, the tornado warning continues to the north. I believe that's the tornado warning right there.
There is one new tornado warning for Kansas.
Yep, more. There it is. Yep, there's the new tornado warning. All right, so now the city of Moore.
This is a tornado warning.
All of Norman is now under a tornado warning. The overall movement of the storm has been from south to north, but the kick of wind is coming out near and over toward Washington. However, we've been seeing, and I'm going to kind of draw it on here on links 1. So checking with our trackers, here's the kick of wind. You can see it kind of blasting out. See how it blasts out off the east? Every now and then, it's been kind of wrapping up right here, and you get these little circulations from, and the whole thing is going to continue moving off to the north. All right, so the whole thing is going to move off, and we could be looking at these small, very short-lived QLCS tornadoes. As John Slater was saying, this is, you know, a situation where you get a large area of straight line wind damage too, and that's going to come into north. Goldsby, it's moving into Slaughterville right now. We're going to put a motion on this here. We're going to animate it for you. Red right now coming into Goldsby and eventually Norman. Tornado warning for Norman and for right now in the Oklahoma City area. We're going to put on radar so we can look at exactly what's happening. There is some hail with this too. Let's not discount the hail. There's going to be some large hail moving into Norman and to Slaughterville. Let's go to Counter Tune, then we'll go to meteorologist John Slater. Counter, go ahead.
Yeah, Aaron. Just across from the Riverwind Casino where John is, kind of looking to the south, the Cole area. Again, right now, just lots of heavy rain. I cannot.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Kansas.
You know, what we're looking at. But on radar, like you said, echo is kind of wrapping around. So we're going to sit here for just a minute, see if I can get any kind of a visual. 35 north to cover the South Metro. Back to you.
All right, we're hearing from the Oklahoma position units to shut down I-35 when the storm gets to the highway. Okay, so OHP down I-35 near the Norman area and Goldsby. They're going to prevent.
There is one new tornado warning for Illinois.
As this tornado warning continues. Newcastle, tornado warning, and more tornado warning. There's the rotation right now near Goldsby. There's the OU campus. You know, it is only a couple miles away from the Riverwind Casino. You can see it right there. So there's I-39 approaching the Riverwind Casino. There's the parking lot of the Riverwind. Saturday night, a lot of folks out there, a lot going on across the city. Some outdoor activities have been canceled. The Riverwind Casino coming in from the west and southwest. Tornado warning does continue there. Let's. John's very close to this area. Go ahead.
Hey, on top of the bridge.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Oklahoma.
Highway 9. We're looking off. Might recognize the Riverwind Casino just to our southwest. We're on top of the bridge, okay, that goes over I-35. And they're going to shut down I-35 pretty soon. We got to make a move here pretty quick. But the circulation is just to our southwest. I mean, minutes. And we've got very strong straight line winds from that circulation all the way to the east. Damaging winds. So we're kind of on the bridge here on a high spot. So we're kind of as this comes on in, but we're watching it very closely for you. It hasn't hit us yet, but we're
all right, appreciate that. It was a handful of years ago. A lot of us remember the tornado that came up and down in about 3 minutes, hit the Riverwind Casino, and we're seeing velocity coming basically right toward that same area. There's a tornado warning right there. Straight line winds, if not for the tornado. We'll go to links here for just a second as I want to show you links here. We'll do velocity. So there's the Norman campus. Here we go. Goldsby straight line winds coming up. The green is toward the radar. Still a, I-35 and the river campus and the Riverwind Casino right there up I-35. There is a lot of straight line wind coming into Norman. Over 60 miles per hour. That's going to happen. And this is also trying to wrap up as it goes farther off to the north. Go to Mike Morgan.
Aaron, thank you very much. You folks down in Cleveland County, they're shutting down tornado warning for Moore and Norman right now. So here's the Oklahoma City.
This is a tornado warning.
Rotation now is down to the Riverwind Casino, lifting to the northeast. Heavy rain now. These storms in Oklahoma County so far are non-severe, but down here in the Riverwind area, we want to stay very close touch with John Slater right here with the circulation center. Riverwind Casino, I-35 and Highway 9 at the river, and you see the rotation up to the northeast up into Norman. We'll zoom on in here and take a closer look. It was tighter. Now it's a little bit weaker again. It's cycled several times doing that. But the ongoing tornado warning. The purple was for the confirmed tornado back down Cole with the power flashes, and the red tornado warning is for circulation in tornado. Aaron, let's go ahead and drive that manually, and we'll push on in on Max 3 and take a look at it. Let's go back over to John Slater as well. We want to talk to John Slater. We'll go to Max 3. Riverwind Casino, the circulation there has not tightened up. It's actually loosened up a little bit. What have you seen south and to the west from the Riverwind?
Yeah, Mike, we just had to bail on. We're getting, very strong winds. It's hard to estimate 60 plus at least. Just had to get off the bridge now. We're just east of I-35 on Highway 9. Now, we had to turn around and try to get off that high spot. We were kind of in a vulnerable. Yes, let's go east. We're going to follow this by looking at that it's really punching out just to our east. And the strongest winds may be just to our east-southeast. Some very strong winds right now, very strong winds. So all of Norman, Noble area, you can't really pay attention to where the center of circulation is that much because the winds we're getting the small tornado. So we have to kind of pull off the side of the road right now. We're getting very strong winds. We're just east of the Riverwind Casino, and this is coming right in to Norman. And the center of circulation.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Oklahoma.
To the right, on the right side of circulation, and we're getting the forward momentum of all the atmosphere winds coming in here. I like a hurricane where it's from the eye to the east of where the center crosses the coast that gets being a little meteorological here, but that's what's going on right now. As you can see, Mike, the wind. So we'll continue to follow it and give you updates. Back to you.
John, thank you very much. Again, blowing there. It looks like a hurricane, these really bright green winds. Let's go ahead and push on in. The tornado vortex time being has gone away out here just on the west and northwest side of the river lot, and it's centered out here pretty close to the river over west and southwest Norman. Green is a very strong wind out of the south blowing to the north, and the here are running 60 to 70 plus miles per hour. So lots of damage. Norman, want to stay away from windows. So it's lifting up from south to north right here with really strong all around Norman. And if the tornado were to redevelop, it could quickly, but over here on the west side of Norman, these are very strong south winds on the front edge of lifting to the north. So you want to avoid your south windows. Tornado precautions all the same. We have a tornado warning in effect for Cleveland County and Norman. Lifting. Aaron has drawn on the rotation arrows, and you're looking for the hot red and the hot green together. It has been earlier, and also right down here, very close to the Riverwind. There's a hot spot forming. So a really dynamic situation. Let's go ahead and push on in, Aaron. That's going to be right there.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Kansas.
There's a tornado warning in effect right there. That could be a right there. Very dynamic, changing very fast, and then broadening out here. All this bright green. Straight line winds. It's a south wind blowing to the north, 70 plus. Let's go back to John down here. Stay away from windows. Ongoing tornado warning. Norman, right now the river wind is forming quickly right there. John, tell us where you are and what have you seen?
Well, we're still just east of the Highway 9 bridge that goes over I-35. So we're sort of just camped out here. We're continuing to get very strong south wind at 45 or so, gusts, 70 plus. So storm or hurricane effect going on right now with very heavy rain and spray. And we feel pretty safe, but the car is rocking a little bit right now. We're for 70 miles per hour, and it's whoa, what's that? You think, Kevin? I don't know. Could be 80 to 85. I mean, that was this is really now. It's got to be at least 70 to 80 mile an hour winds here on the east side of I-30 of the Riverwind Casino, southeast Norman right now, Noble area. You're going to spread potential power outages. as
There
he
is
comes
one
in
new severe
to the
thunderstorm
southeast
warning
metro.
for Kansas.
See, Mike.
80 to 85 now in Norman. This is going to be very close to I-35 in the river. The wind is from the south blowing to the north, so 80 to 85, that can produce
There
a
is
lot
one new severe
damage
thunderstorm
and
warning
a lot
for
of power line
Kansas.
damage, so look for power outages down here, very possible. Hey, John, flashes with this wind, best you can tell, your visibility is really poor. Have you seen any power flashes yet?
It's hard to tell, Mike. It's possible, but there's a lot of light, kind of continuous lightning out here, and the heavy rain was so hard that it was really. I don't know if I've seen any power flashes at this time. And now we're kind of in a little lull right now. The off and the winds are lighter right now, so maybe the worst of this is just the minutes as it moves on through. So we're going to go jump on Highway 9 and see what we can see. Back to you.
Okay, John, nice job. Let's go back over to Max 1. So we have several. This is 80 to 85 going right through the Norman campus, now right over Max Westheimer. South wind blowing to the north, so stay away from your windows on the south side. This is serious. Up over Indian Hill and then up into South Moore here very, very quickly as it lifts to the north. Still a possible tornado looking quite possible immediately southwest of Riverwind.
There is one new severe
Very
thunderstorm warning for
parking lot
Texas.
at the Riverwind right there, and that's some indication there of a tornado just to the southwest of the Riverwind Casino. So let's go ahead and go back. 3, again, damaging winds here, 80 to 85 miles per hour. Lifting to the north. Warning, so stay away from windows and interior closet or bathroom. Storm cellar warning does include up into Moore, and that possible tornado still there. River wind and just southwest of the I-35 bridge over the river. So it's northeast, that little tornado vortex right there. That's the reason for the tornado warning. But this is all widespread here, 70 to 85 miles per hour. Let's go to Corey Inman with a quick update. He's also down here tracking night vision. What do you see?
Yeah, Mike, can you hear me?
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
I-35 shut down at Maine.
So I-35 is being shut down by OHP. If you're going southbound, that's at Maine. It's being shut down at Johnson. That's just in.
Corey, go ahead. Live update from Norman.
Sorry, Mike. I'm eastbound out of Purcell. Heavy rain, full to quarter-size hail. This leading storm that formed out ahead of the lines kind of got by the main storm, and we've kind of got a little notch here just to the north, starting to get some strong southerly winds an hour blowing right into that area. So the camera's pointed in there. Haven't been able to see anything because of the tremendous. But we're going to continue to trek off to the east over here towards Asher, and then hopefully be able to make.
Okay, Corey, thank you very much on that. Let's go back over to Max 1. So looking at velocities here. Warning, still a tornado down here not too far from Riverwind and lots of damaging winds going through Norman. Let's go over to Max 3 now and take a look here. This is, of course, Norman, Cleveland. There's the indication of the tornado there and the activity lifting to the north. Let's go back over to John's update, ground truth here. He's down there in southwest Norman. John, what do you have?
Well, right now we're still down here by the Riverwind Casino. The ramp back on I-35 to the north is closed. This is something not weather. We can't get back on I-35 north to get over to Highway 9 and go east. So we're trying to navigate the situation. Well, I can tell you this, the weather has calmed down considerably here. So by looking at it's a 5-10 minute blast of 70, 80 mile per hour winds, and then off. So that's what came through here about 10 minutes ago. We're on the south side of that bow echo has moved up to our northeast, and we're getting moderate rain and maybe just about 20 miles per hour. So we've got to do some road navigation here to figure out how to do this thing, Mike. But again, from our vantage point, it was a pretty big storm. You know, minutes of 50 gusts to about 80 miles per hour when that, and then after that, it's kind of calmed down a lot. So That's the
to
latest
the
right
north.
now, River Wind Casino.
Let's look up to the north here by the Johnson plant, 77 just to the east of I. Let's go over to Max 3. That's where the tornado appears to be now. It is lifted to the so right here. So this is going to be now in North Norman. There's downtown Norman. Timer here. And here's I-35 right here. We're zoomed all the way in. Max Westheimer. East side of Westheimer, north of downtown Norman, lifting to the north. Let's go ahead up into southeast more. So Indian Hill Road here, Tecumseh, Indian Hill Road, southeast more. That's where the tornado is now. John had all that wind go by miles an hour as the circulation passed just to his west. And now we're talking about east of Westheimer. It moved from river wind to there in the past 5 to 6 minutes. It's lifting on up here toward Draper Lake is where that is heading, up toward Draper Lake. So tornado precautions and back out a little bit more here and take a look. So tornado precautions up here from, see it right there. Let's go to Connor Toon here live. It looks like a tornado right there in North Norman.
Yeah, Mike, we actually had some power flashes about 5 minutes east side of 35, and the power flashes looked like they were on the west side of 35, Norman area. Only one quick flash, but I'd take that as maybe a quick spin up in this section of the storm. Back to you.
Okay, so the very latest here was about 5 minutes ago. Let's go back over to radar. So you're talking about the area Norman. Right here, due north of Norman here. This is going to be by and Tecumseh, Sunny Lane and Tecumseh is where that's located. That's still an ongoing quite tornado. There have been power flashes across Norman with a lot of wind here as well. Quick update from John. Your tornado precautions here from northeast Norman up to about Draper Lake and Franklin, southeast side of Moore.
Hey,
John Slater, go. Yes.
Yeah, we're just looking right here. Before we get to John, I just want to show different radar. There's 2 different radars. And you can see how it went basically right over the Riverwind Casino. So here's Highway 9 farther off to the it went over that, and then here's a different radar view. We got radars right on top of this, and then it's moving just north of Max Westheimer Airport. All right, John, go ahead.
A lot of damaging wind over in eastern Cleveland County as well, from east over to Draper Lake, over to Etowah. A lot of wind damage in through there. High velocity, straight line winds here with this punching gust front, punching to the northeast. So this is all high here, and then it wraps up into the circulation here that's over northeast Norman with that tornado warning there. So let's go ahead and back out. So here's Oklahoma City, some pretty good rain. These are generally non-severe except for the southern sides of Oklahoma City. They're lifting with the ongoing circulation now over northeast Norman, lifting up towards southeast. So heads up at Draper Lake and also over by I-40 and Choctaw Road. So heads up Lake over to I-40 and Choctaw Road. Then from there over toward Meeker and Jacktown to the west and north of Twin Lakes. But again, a lot of damaging winds here in Cleveland County toward Pottawatomie County and Lincoln County.
There is one new tornado warning for Kansas.
West Oklahoma. Recent rains coming up, possibility of some damaging winds coming in to South Oklahoma City and the metro here as well as it lifts on up to the northeast. Let's go back over to Connor Toon. He had power flash about 7 minutes ago. Tell us where you are right now. What do you see? So Connor is in Norman right now. Looks like he's flight. Let's see if we can check in with him. Ongoing tornado warning here. This is going to be southwest of Draper Lake. Go.
Yeah, yes, Mike. We're north on Porter, over by the Porter campus. Actually, crew Ryan lives right over here, and it does look like on our radar there was a little bit of a gate right through this area. I'm looking for damage. We kind of were on the backside of where that circulation was now. I damage. Don't see any trees, no power lines. All the power is on over here. But for a second there, it looks pretty intense right here where we're driving through currently. Back to you.
So just looking at the latest trends here, looking at Max 1, looking at the velocity. A lot of damaging winds here coming through Cleveland County. John Slater had 80 to 80. That circulation there traveled from near the River Wind over to the northeast, and it's now located up here near Draper Lake, lifting to the northeast here over northeastern Cleveland County, and then from there I-40 and Choctaw Road is where that's heading. And Dale and the Grand Casino there, heads up for you folks. A lot of damaging winds. Etowah and then over through Twin Lakes, lifting to the northeast. Strong damaging straight line winds. That big right there coming on out. That's a lot of damaging straight line winds. And the circulation now located very close to Draper Lake right now. If John Slater's with us, we go back to John here and check this tornado precautions. This is very far east more, really, over toward I-40 and Choctaw, and then on over here toward Dale and McLeod. Head circulation center now basically northeast of Norman, and still a lot of wind down around Norman. But the big winds now are northeast Norman heading up toward I-40 and Choctaw. Go John Slater.
Hey, Mike. Well, we're just...
This is a tornado warning.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Missouri.
Across the river. And, well, we're a little bit south of the main action. When it came through, we had it live on the air when that Bow Echo came right up from the River Wind Casino area to Highway 9 there and to the east. We had sustained at around 50, gust up to about 80, 85 miles per hour. That was coming through. It was a mini hurricane that lasted about 5 or 10 minutes. And then as quick as he came, it was gone. So it's about a 5-10 minute deal. Very strong. Damaging winds, in fact, are very possible with that Bow Echo. So folks up there, definitely get prepared for some severe winds as this Bow Echo hits your area. And it lasts about 5-10 minutes, Mike, and gets pretty calm after that. So we're heading north. We'll be damage once we get into the Norman area here and see if there's been any damage up here in the Norman area.
So have you seen any signs of power outages down in Norman, John? Best you...
I haven't, best I can tell, but I'm sort of on the interstates in the neighborhoods right now, but I can't tell that there's any significant power outages from my vantage point.
Power outage.
Call 888-882-2439.
That wants extra supplemental movement. Maybe you want to keep your legs active while you work.
There are 2 new warnings affecting Missouri and Oklahoma.
Just want to build strength, increase your mobility. Circulation, Ellipse was made for you. Power-assisted exercise. Or your favorite seated activities. Just plug it in, place your feet, select your speed. Ellipse does all the work for you. Call now and order Ellipse.
If you're on supplemental oxygen, heavy and awkward tanks are a burden. Now you can leave home and leave the tanks behind. With Inogen One, the portable oxygen concentrator you can take almost anywhere.
My oxygen. I could play golf again. I could go grocery shopping. I'm free again.
And right now, you can try an Inogen One for 30 days completely risk-free. New Inogen One system.
Call 888-484-1106.
Whoa. The unexpected can... That's why SelectQuote makes it easy to get the life insurance coverage you need to protect for less than $1 a day.
SelectQuote found me a $500,000 policy for only a month.
We could help you save more than 50% on life insurance.
Call us. Select. You save.
One victims in Charlotte alone. It's a stunning number, and that's from a report. Age Ministries, a nonprofit here in Charlotte that works to stop human trafficking and
Yeah, Mike, we just drove area where you guys were discussing maybe that it was a little bit of damage.
This is a tornado warning.
Tree limbs, some leaves on the ground. What was that?
There is one new tornado warning for Oklahoma.
Sooner Road now to turn north to follow that area that was just that area. Back to you.
Okay, so we have a new tornado warning for southeastern Oklahoma. And this is going to be southeast Midwest City over to Woods and then near Choctaw. So Woods and Choctaw. So a tornado warning now over on Max 1 here. This circulation here forming just over the southeast side. Douglas Avenue over here toward Choctaw Road and I-4. Circulation right there. So up here toward Choctaw is where that's heading, the southeast side of Oklahoma.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
On that circulation there that just came out of the north, and that's lifting up into southeastern Oklahoma County, southeast side of Midwest City, a little ways just of Tinker, and then on up here toward Choctaw, I-40 and Choctaw, up toward about Choctaw, there over to near Hera for you folks over here in southeastern Oklahoma County. Tornado warning right there. The circulation center there pretty close to 240 and Choctaw roads in southeastern Oklahoma County, up toward Woods, and again I-40 and Choctaw right there. So up here to the north at Choctaw, that is a potential non-confirmed. It's for rotation, which came out of the northeast Norman area a little while ago here in southeastern Oklahoma County. So it's a brand new tornado warning for southeastern Oklahoma County up toward Choctaw and I-40 and Choctaw Road and Woods. And then
there are two new warnings affecting Kansas and Oklahoma.
County, up toward Hera. Good heavy rains on the backside of that. Oklahoma City, OCU, a lot of thunder, some hail around as well. That's all lifting to the north, so we'll get some good rains right Oklahoma City proper. And again, right here on the southeast side, I-40, 240, the Tinker Diagonal, Choctaw, just immediately to the east of Tinker Air Force Base. That's radar for this activity right here. It did pulse up, as you see here, and it looks like it has come down. It is scanned. The green and the red there have weakened just a bit, but still, that could easily. That's an ongoing tornado warning right there. Let's go to Rose State College here. Look at the Rose State camera and down to the southeast. So a lot of wind here at Rose State. As you can tell, that's a very through southern Oklahoma County and the southeast sides of the Oklahoma City Metro. And that's into that circulation center, which is just now northwest of I-40 and Choctaw Road in southeastern Oklahoma County. That's Rose State right there. Let's go back over to John Slater with an update coming out of Norman. John, go ahead.
Yeah, we're east on Robinson right now. We're east I-35. We're on Robinson Street. We're moving east. We're just south of the North Campus there, and we have a little bit of tree damage on Robinson here. We're going to head up to the next north-south intersection here, and we're going to go north and check out the North Campus. We're there. So,
John, it sure looked like that circulation center did track basically right over the west and north side of the. So I'll be curious to see what you see there as those really high velocity winds are reported on Norman campus as well. So that's an update from John Slater right there. Here's the overview of the metro. Let's take a look at. So if you're just now joining us, the back of the entire storm system as far as this complex we have right here is basically over West Oklahoma City.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Kansas.
Northeast here, and we have some pretty good wind rolling through South Oklahoma City and East Oklahoma City, as well as this tornado warning now just to the northwest of Choctaw Road and I-40.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
East, back a fair amount. This was radar indicated tornado warning. There's Hera and there's Choctaw right there. Still some strong winds. We'll go over there to the that shows us, and the Midwest City camera has a lot of strong wind as well from the south to the north. You can see the blowing spray there. That's Interstate 40 over there, very close to Tinker at Rose. We had measured winds of about 60 down at the Mesonet station in Norman just a short while ago, so about 60-mile-an-hour winds there. Let's go back over to radar here and show you what we have going on. So tornado 29th and about Choctaw Road, that circulation there not quite as pronounced as it was earlier. Tornado warning does continue for southeast Oklahoma County, so heads up for Choctaw, heads up for Harris Woods area, Choctaw Road, I-40 northbound there toward Choctaw, the neighborhood. These could cycle up again very, very quickly, as you can see there with that hot red.
There is one new tornado warning for Missouri.
There's some strong, strong winds coming through a good part of the southeast side of the Oklahoma City. And Norman's in the wake now of all of that, so the winds have diminished some. The big punch of wind, Cloud and the Grand Casino down to Bethel Acres and Twin Lakes. Big punch here of damage south and the southwest, lifting up through Pottawatomie County, then into Lincoln County, Meeker. You folks will have some high wind, and this wind could be as up to 75 to 80 miles. Jet stream winds coming in right now, so a pretty good punch of wind coming out of Pottawatomie County, lifting to the northeast, so a heads up on that. And again, the wind has diminished quite a bit down in things.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Missouri.
That's really good news for sure. So hail quarters and Nichols there, as you could see, coming past Norman, and with this complex of storms, Oklahoma County. Let's go back over to Connor Toon, get an update from him and what he sees right now coming out of East Metro. Connor.
Yeah, Mike, we're heading north on soon. Finally, we're behind that circulation that we've been talking about for the last 20 minutes or so.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
To our northeast, and then it just blew. So again, that section approaching kind of the Choctaw area, it looks really kind of set up northeast of the
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Oklahoma.
Heading north, that section has really blown to the northeast. Back to you.
Okay, so report here of a tornado very close to Tinker. So sirens now are going off in Midwest City. Let's go over to that to you. So it's these leading edge gust front tornadoes, these little eddies here that you see, the hot.
This is a tornado warning.
These leading edge gust front tornadoes, these QLCS type tornadoes. Big complex with a lot of rotation in it. So the sirens are going off in Midwest City. Rotation center there came out of Tinker with a possible tornado reported there, and these hot red lining with wind shear to generate little small tornadoes. So this is going to be in Nakoma, Choctaw, lifting up toward 23rd Street, Highway 62 very quickly. Choctaw,
there is one new tornado
windows,
warning for Oklahoma.
Park, away from windows, Hera, away from, and even little areas here, continued small little spin ups there, just passing New. So you see these little hot red centers in through here, QLCS, leading edge, gust front type. They tend to be a little bit smaller, but certainly they can produce some damage, and they're moving along with a big punch of some high velocity winds in through here as well. Let's go over to Rose State and look at the road. And things have improved a little bit here just since we checked in with Rose State just about 5 minutes ago. The wind had come, but a pretty good wind, as you saw, was rolling through Rose State with some spray out there. Area of a possible tornado down around Tinker, and that has been lifting up toward Choctaw. One here, and on Max 1, there's the time of arrival for you. Basically, Choctaw right about now. Go as far north as Luther to the south and east, and then over toward Wellston and Warwick. Wellston and Warwick there is where that's heading up into Lincoln County right in through here, and heads up for you folks in Channel as well. Aaron Braxton.
This is a tornado warning.
All in through here, and those little areas of spin-ups here that have been occurring. Report of a brief Tinker, and that's for this area that came right out of Tinker, right in through here, rapidly heading up in, away from windows in Choctaw, and safest place, you know, interior closet or bathroom is good. Many as possible, and that rotation is literally coming into Choctaw right now. Let's go to Connor Toon here. The live update, Connor.
Yeah, Mike, we are trying to kind of get an area where we heard maybe there was some possible damage. Haven't seen anything yet. About to pull into that area here shortly. again, still now to the northeast area. That tornado warning it has just really moved off to the northeast. But we're coming up on that area with possible damage. We'll get back to you if we find anything. Back to you.
Okay, Connor, thank you very much on that. Let's go back over to Max 1 here, and we'll show you on Max 1. So big wind here. Here, winds 70, 75, very common. So lifting up toward Jacktown, Meeker, and Prague. Here to the south of Chandler, Lincoln County, severe there. And these little here, the hot red, anywhere you see the hot red there, that's going to be.
There is one new tornado warning for Oklahoma.
Small tornado along the leading edge of that gust front there, rolling into Choctaw now. Hera, a little ways east of Jones, little ways to the east of Jones, up into West County, up there around Britton Road in Lincoln County and 122nd in Lincoln County, a little west of Dale, so McLeod Dale area, north of Dale and to the south of Wellston. So heads up County. So little areas.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Oklahoma.
Through. And go over, Aaron, we'll kind of drive that and take a broader look here as to what's going on in parts of the metro here. You see the edge of the wind there basically is from about the Turner. It's not quite as strong there, and then it really picks up at about Spencer. So it's eastern, and then from Spencer it gets really hot, that wind right around Choctaw and Nakoma Park, and that's edge QLCS tornadoes here lifting on up. There's Jones, so damaging wind area now. Just to the east of the Oakdale Valley, the winds are picking up in the now. The really strong winds are over there east of the Oakdale Valley, and then over here toward Fowler and Dale. Jacktown Highway 62, strong winds out of the southwest blowing quickly to the northeast to 75. There's a hot spot right there on the gust front as well, just very close to the ground.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Kansas.
62. John Slater was down in Norman. Some scattered damage potentially on North Campus in Norman. John, tell us what you have.
That's right. We are at the airport here on the North Campus in Norman, just north of Robinson Street, and there are several trees snapped and also some big limbs that are just snapped. Some very strong winds here. We're looking at this truck right here. You can see this snapped about a foot from ground level right here. And several other trees that have been snapped. Also, Mike, we're going to pan over to this building here to the left. Look at this building, and you might remember because that's the old National Severe Laboratory here on the North Campus with Don Burgess used to work at. Anyway, that's where the severe weather has been. Back to you, Mike.
So you're looking at the old National building right there, Max Westheimer North Campus. That's what John's referring to right there. We're talking about the 70s and 1980s. Which is, of course, John's era and my era as well. We remember this all down here. And that's the wind damage there. John, you're mentioning the trees snapped base, right? So some of those were snapped clean off.
Yeah, there's a couple, at least two that I've seen that have been snapped off. There's one coming up right here on the right-hand side of the road that has been snapped off. Let's see if we can take a closer look in. Right there, you can see how that was just right at the base, just snapped off. Right, they had to have some pretty good winds here. As we were estimating 70 to 80 plus. They came and hit us just east of the Highway 9 bridge over I-35. So basically, that's where we are right now. Mike, back to you.
Okay, John, thank you very much. Excellent report right there. The wind damage. And again, there was also a little QLCS tornado that was going up through here as well. So this could actually that John's showing you live here on the North Campus, Max Westheimer Field at the old National Severe.
There is one new tornado warning for Oklahoma.
Campus, Norman. Let's go back over to the Doppler data here. So tornado warning now. This is for the Jones area. These little high velocity couplets you see here, QLCS tornadoes up to about Luther. So that's some strong winds around. And then you head on over toward Britton Road. This would include Lincoln County, 122nd, Wilshire, and the Lincoln, Oklahoma County line. So 102's right here. There's Highway 1. All you folks along Highway 102 over here in western Lincoln County, all the about Wellston and Warwick to the southwest of Chandler. So all these folks here under tornadoes, and you see little bitty tight circulations. There's one showing up right there. But these are small QLCS tornadoes that are developing, and they produce a bit of damage, and then they hit someplace else. So they're generally short-lived, but they do produce some tornado damage and also wind damage, 80, 85 miles an hour here. Another hot spot there, very close to near Jacktown and Fowler and Midway, a little ways to the west of Meeker and Prague. So lifting on up to the south of Chandler. So a hot spot there as well, and a front, winds coming from southwest to northeast, and some of that high wind is also Shawnee right now. So pretty good Shawnee wind there, and you see the motion there northeast at a pretty high 50 to 60 miles per hour with wind gusts potentially 70 to 80. So you want to stay away from windows. The west window, the southwest window, the south window, especially with south to north, and little QLCS leading edge gust front tornadoes all as it moves out of southeastern and eastern Oklahoma County into Lincoln County. That's definitely a developing little QLCS tornado right there with a brand new tornado up right there. Highway 62 west of Meeker near Midway and Jacktown and Fowler. So here toward Chandler. So there's Chandler right there. Heads up for you folks in Chandler. Let's go switch over.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
On this, and we'll show you the where the rain or the hail is Doppler velocities. So you see the big arcing gust front right there, and
This is a tornado warning.
Valley, Jones, Choctaw, and Spencer, but again, a hot spot there at Jones, heading up. Tornado warning for you guys, and then from Fowler and Meeker heading on up toward Chandler. Tornado warning for you guys there. Up and down Highway 102, Wilshire, over through Britain, 22nd Street. Tornado warning all in through there, but clearly two hot spots right there. Yes, tornadoes certainly possible, if not likely. We're showing them spinning up here from time to time as it lifts on to the northeast. Let's go back over to intensities again, and we'll kind of back out on that. An overview here as we kind of back out. Nice job there, Aaron. So here's the gust back down through Pottawatomie County. You can see here on the leading edge, that's where the problem is. That's where all the QLCS tornadoes are. And this is all basically just rain back here. So from Edmond down all the way down now through Moore and
there is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Wisconsin.
Cool and much more stable. So the threat is not there for Norman, Moore, and for Minko and Tuttle and Yukon and downtown and War Acres and Bethany. And up here from central Edmond into West Edmond, you're fine. Piedmont and El Reno. The Southeast Metro has had this QLCS event here with straight line 5 miles per hour. Lots of heavy rain. Let's go ahead and go on back down. Tornado warning down here in Garden. And also tornado warning down on the east side of Ada. So let's go ahead and head on down here. These are due northward, and tornado warning down by Springer. So we have quite a few tornado in Murray County and also in Pontotoc County. So let's go to velocities and we'll take a close look. So just north of Ardmore there, up to Springer, and there's the rotation goes to Springer, east side of Springer, lifting to the north. So Doherty, and from there north near Gene Autry, but Springer right now is where it's located, lifting almost due northward. Let's walk Davis Sulphur and the Arbuckles right there. And then another area of circulation here, just Wood. So very close to Wynnewood, another circulation there with a tornado warning, lift north. That's Wynnewood, just east of Pauls Valley, tornado warning lifting to the north. Then over here in Pontotoc County, right here, east side, a little ways east of Ada, lifting to the north as well. Areas of rotation right there. So it's Hugh, east of Ada, lifting to the north to east of Bing is where that lifting to the north. That's a tornado warning there as well.
Hey, Mike, let's go to John Slater.
Let's go ahead and take a look at
Yeah.
Go, John.
Hey, Mike, we're still here at the airport, North Campus, north of Robinson Street. And there's the airport right there. I mean, you can see the runway. And we're seeing a lot of this sheet metal. It appears to be some kind of a sheet metal, maybe blown off. We don't know exactly where it came from. I'm just guessing maybe it came from the roof or the siding here of one of the hangars. Going up against the fence here, you can see right in front of us. Over to our right, there's more there. There's a police officer. Some more damage that we can see by the fence over there. So this all occurred. Initial wind surge, the Bo Echo came through. We estimated, per our winds when it hit us there. We were a little farther down to the south, but it moved right up in the here. And we're also hearing some unconfirmed information that there may have been some damage to homeland here on the west side, just to the north of Robinson, just west of where we are right now. So we're going to go over there and check out and see if there was any damage around the homeland and the in Norman. But this is the latest from the North Campus. The airport did take a with that gust front or that Bo Echo that came through here with damaging winds. Mike?
Can you tell, is the debris blown from south to north? The best you can tell, how's that debris oriented?
I'm going to guess it's blown from south to north. I'm not sure that, but when I look to the north and northwest,
there is one new tornado warning for Missouri.
It's on the left side here. You can see that we have a hangar or a building here on the airport. I'm thinking it may. Don't know. Josephine, what do you think? Which way do you think this debris came from?
From our southwest.
Yeah.
Blew kind of more northeast.
Okay. That's back to you, Mike.
Okay, John. Thank you very much. Again, that's the hangar area at Max Westheimer. Had 80 to 85 mile-an-hour winds. This is also where that little QLCS tornado tracked through. You may be looking basically at EF0 to maybe EF1, potentially damage in through here. We'll, of course, get any confirmation on that, looking at the damage surveys later tomorrow. But there is quite a bit of wind damage, including trees snapped at the Max campus at OU. So to the north here, still in the Luther area, lifting to heads up for Kearney and heads up for Chandler ahead of the line. Most of the rotation here is on the side of this big bow looking thing you see right here. And you see lots of hot spots around Luther. Tornado warning continues here. And it looks like they're maybe west of Luther. Let's go ahead and push on in all the way there and let's take a look. West side of Luther here, that appears to be where that little QLCS Luther and Arcadia, just passing Route 66. So like the round here, round barn's right about here. So we're talking about just east of the Chicken Shack, west of Luther, a little QLCS tornado there. And then on the front side of that, coming out of the south to north, which could be 80 to 85 miles per hour in through there. So Luther to north of Luther up to the Oklahoma County line, there's a whole bunch of wind and the possibility of a little QLCS tornado tucked in on the west side of that, lifting east at about 50 to 55 miles per hour. Same thing here, and this is going to be east of 102, southeast of Wellston. Same thing here, strong south wind on the and then potentially a little QLCS tornado there, lifting on up toward Chandler. Folks in Chandler, see that clearly the two hot spots right there, and then down, yeah, right there. And then down the line, that's probably a little tornado right there at Roseville, just east of pretty close to about 122nd Street, way out here in Lincoln, to the north of Wilshire and Britton Road. But that's exactly where that is, 122nd, over there in rural Lincoln County. And then here's that little QLCS here, just about to the northwest of Luther, lifting to the north with some really strong south winds blowing north. You stay away from windows right here, northeastern Oklahoma County. And you can see that really drops off on the west side of Arcadia, and things have calmed down considerably from Edmond into Oklahoma City. The very back of the storm there is lifting out quickly to the north. Again, damaging winds down this line as well. So these winds here are going to be pretty common. 60 to 70 mile per hour range, severe thunderstorm warnings, this big bow. Notice the hot spots are not in through there, and Aaron just drew in the arrows lifting to the northeast. So you're going to want to avoid in your south window, Lincoln County, Johnston over here by the little exit on I Seminole, Prague on over here, eventually toward Castle and Boley and O'Keefe, and over toward Depew and Stroud, eventually heading up your way. Big bow echo there. And then big heavy rains in Shawnee. All these are severe in through here, damaging threat. Then we get into these supercells down here lifting due northward, look here, just on the east side of Ada, right there, just east side of Ada, rotation there, due northward. That's an update on that tornado warning right there, east side of Ada, lifting north, east of Bing. So Pontotoc County there, so damaging wind to the north on the front side of that circulation there, just east of Ada. And then here, just on the east side of Wynnewood and just east of Pauls Valley, circulation there, county lifting on up towards Stratford. So heads up for Stratford and west of Stratford, almost due northward. These are supercells down there. And then farther down, down in supercell down here that came out of the Springer area. And that rotation is quite strong. North of Gene Autry and to the southeast.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Missouri.
Out of that blowing south to north right there. So the Darty area lifting on up towards, for you folks in Murray County, the Arbuckles, of course, exactly right here. So southeast side of the Arbuckles lifting to the northeast. That's a tornado warning right there. Let's go back over to kind of back out of that and take a look. We'll go to intensities here. So these are all little supercell, and then this big QLCS event that came across. Let's go, notice here back to the west here, things have quieted down considerably. Edmond westward, North Oklahoma City, Central Oklahoma City, South Oklahoma City, Moore and Norman. Gentle light rain right now. The severe weather has passed by southern and eastern Oklahoma, and it's passed by Norman. The focus now is going to be up toward Kearney, up toward and over toward the I-40 Shawnee exit right there. Let's go back over to John around Max Westheimer Field, surveying the likely straight line wind and quite much down there that he was reporting on live about 45 minutes ago. John, what do you have?
Like we're sort of in transition. We left the airport that had some minor, moderate damage at the airport there, the North Campus Airport. Here at the University of Oklahoma, there was some damage there. Trees, several trees snapped, tree limbs broken off, and there was some siding from some of the hangars, sheet metal that was kind of sporadically blown around over the airport. I'm just assuming maybe one of the hangars or something like that. But we have unconfirmed there may be some damage at the Homeland and the Target. We're approaching that area right now. Emergency vehicles or anything like that ongoing right now, but we're just arriving on site right 24th Avenue and Robinson right now. The Homeland, I believe, is to the left. We do see some lights, so we'll figure out what's going on, and the Target is to the north. So we're going to check out the Homeland just to the south, to the north. We heard from some folks that we met over on north there that there may have been some damage here, and so we're checking it out. That's the latest. Mike, back
John,
to you.
thank you very much. 1,800 total customers in the OG&E service area without power. That represents about 1,000 folks. That number is, we would think, is fairly low considering the amount of through the south and southeast sides of the Oklahoma City metro, Cleveland County, eastern Oklahoma County. Is total so far about 3,800 customers. Again, the severe weather here rolling south and east sides of the Oklahoma City metro, now lifting to the north, improving considerably. Choctaw, Midwest City, big improvement, starting to improve in the past couple of minutes in Luther. Edmond improving, decent rains came through the Edmond area. Let's go back over to John Slater.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Oklahoma.
Damage here at a gas station here right on the parking lot of the Homeland area. And trees down here. We have some sheet metal, again, kind of blown around over here. And we do have some vehicles out here. So we took some strong straight line winds. I'm just quickly looking at trees were blown from south to north. So this also looks like a strong south wind came through here, which would be consistent of more of a bow echo. You know, I'm not going to confirm that. That's just what it looks like to me right now. And there's some folks here, some emergency vehicles.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
Looking at it and trying to assess the situation right now. So minor, moderate Homeland parking lot on Robinson, 24th Street, Norman.
John, nice job. You know, it's a bit curious because you see a tree uprooted right there, but yet it appears to basically have power, more or less. You have power all around your area right now.
Exactly. I was just thinking.
There is one new tornado warning for Kansas.
It's amazing. We're seeing all the powers on everywhere. So that's good news, right? We're not complaining. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Nice job. We can go check with our other storm trackers. Connor Toon is down here in the Southeast Metro as well. Let's see where Connor is right now. Connor?
People down there, too.
Oh, yes, Mike. We just got to the gate at the north gate. Spoke to one of the gate guards, and they've actually been done a sweep, and they've had no damage to report in and around Tinker. We had heard the Tinker was damaged. So we're going to adjust now to another damaged location, supposedly, and we'll get...
Okay, so Connor, just to repeat there, you talked to the gate at Tinker, and they are report, but as of right now, they do not have any damage to report. Is that right?
Yes, the gate guard said that he was not made aware and that he most likely would have been made to any damage in and around the Tinker area.
Okay, very good, Connor. Let's go ahead and go back over to Max 1 here. Aaron Brackett driving Max 1. So we're looking at these supercells down here to the south. We've got bigger circulation centers. These are more classic supercells. The nighttime low-level inflow is now kicking into these storms, and circulation near Darty right now. So east of Davis, very close, but east and near, but east. And then Sulphur coming into the southeast side of the Arbuckles right here, just to the east of Honey Creek. East of Honey Creek Pass is where that is. That's a
there is one new tornado warning for Oklahoma.
So that's an ongoing tornado in Murray County. So heads up for Sulphur, damaging winds here on the front side, south to north. Pretty strong circulation there with a classic supercell down here in Murray County. For Murray County, so tornado precautions east of Honey Creek Pass up to between Sulphur right now, pretty close to the Chickasaw Wildlife Refuge there. Circulation center also pretty strong east of Pauls Valley and to the southwest of Stratford. That's a strong circulation there as well. That's a supercell lifting to the north-northeast as well. This is Garvin County.
There is one new tornado warning for Oklahoma.
North-northeast. So tornado precautions there. Stratford and west up to the south side of Byers. That's a significant circulation right there. Pontotoc County, that is also a very significant circulation there east of Bing, and to the southwest of Atwood and to the west of Allen. Right in through here, that's also a strong circulation with damaging winds possible in the front south to north, but the circulation center is sitting right there between Bing in northeastern Pontotoc County, about to cross the river Sasakwa. So heads up, lifts to the almost due north. So Seminole County, severe weather head now. So that's 1, 2, and 3 supercells with tornado warning. LCS up here.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Oklahoma.
So leading edge gust front tornadoes in through here between Sparks and Chandler. south of Chandler, so heads up for you folks around Chandler. This is going to be some strong wind across the Turner Turnpike in Lincoln County. It'll be doing so from Chandler up to Stroud here as this punches to the north-northeast at a high rate of speed at about 50 to 55 miles. So these are ongoing QLCS tornadoes here, and still a little circular Dudley and Fallis and to the west of Kearney. Those have weakened a bit. That's what came out of the Luther area, and that tracked across 66 halfway between Luther and Arcadia, and then weakened some near Fallis and to the southwest of Kearney and west of Kearney and southwest of, but still some areas of damaging winds in there, and a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. Kearney up to Tryon, and then from there on up toward Ripley in Payne County, Agra in northern Lincoln County, and up toward Cushing. Heads up for you folks as well. Thunderstorm warnings in through there, and those little hot spot red areas there. But this is definitely tornado southeast of Chandler, just barely southeast of Chandler, and a lot of high winds coming across the Turner. It lifts up through Chandler and Davenport. That's likely a QLCS tornado sitting.
There is one new tornado warning for Oklahoma.
Davenport, so Route 66.
This is a tornado warning.
On it, tight circulation sitting right there, and it's heading 6 Davenport. Damaging winds on the front side, especially, that will affect Davenport. Going to be away from windows and storm cellar or basement. Maybe a smaller front tornado, but that's a significant circulation right there as well. Time of arrival, Chandler, Davenport, basically right about now, and then Stroud up toward Milfay and Depew and over into Creek County is where that is heading right there. So that's the latest on all those reflectivity, and on reflectivity we'll take a look. Conditions have improved considerably. The Edmond area. And just light rain in the Village, War Acres, Bethany. Everybody's clear here. Clear down through Jones and Choctaw. Clear down through Midwest City. Clear from Moore and Norman. All transferring off to the northeast and the east. And here's the brand new tornado warning coming up in the county now. That's a supercell. It's also on the leading edge of the area of precipitation.
There is one new special marine warning.
Strong circulation. So in Sasakwa, this could be a serious situation for you. That's a strong rotation north, so Sasakwa, tornado precautions, no doubt about it. And if you can go to your storm cellar safe spot, you need to do that right now. Interior closet or bathroom away from windows. So just Sasakwa there, lifting due north at around 40 miles per hour. So that's a tornado warning. Southeastern and east central Seminole County, just to the southeast of Seminole. Aqua, red line, center line for you. That's a big deal right there. These could be producing any time. So between Holdenville and Seminole is where that is heading. The time of arrival there generally up toward Wewoka, up there in northern Hughes County, and just west of Holdenville is where that's tracking, lifting due northward. So that would not take that lightly. There's a strong circulation.
There is one new tornado warning for Oklahoma.
We have the circulation here coming into Sulphur. Same thing here. This is a strong circulation on the western side of Sulphur right now. So tornado precautions here. Closet or bathroom, storm cellar or basement. Aaron, let's go ahead.
This is a tornado warning.
Coming into Sulphur right there on the west side of town. So you see that's likely. Could be a significant tornado. That may be the strongest circulation center in the entire state. So we're talking about Highway 7, very close to the Chickasaw Wildlife down in Murray County. And this is dangerous for Sulphur around the Chickasaw. And then from there on up into Oak Grove. And this is going to be eastern and north County, but that is a strong circulation right there, and that could be a significant some size the way it looks, so that's dangerous. So you really want to be safe down here in the Sulphur area.
There is one new tornado warning for Missouri
County, and there you go, storm projection here heading generally up towards Stratford, basically the Sulphur area now, and then Oak Grove at about 10:29. It's 10:22, and then Stratford by 10:47. Don't take that lightly. That's a significant circulation.
This is a tornado warning.
Probably the strongest circulation on the western side of Sulphur. Let's go ahead and push all the way in here and add on more of the city. You can see that's generally right there in the wildlife refuge area in Sulphur, and significantly large tornado vortex signature, and that's now in the west.
There are two new warnings affecting Oklahoma and Wisconsin.
North-northeast, 5 miles per hour. So this is a likely tornado now right around Highway 7 at the Chickasaw Wildlife Refuge. That's the refuge roads literally right. That's where it is, lifting north-northeast. So we'll push all the way in. There's down there. So this whole area here, Sulphur west, and then eventually to the northwest. Here, the north side of Sulphur. That's a dangerous situation right there for you folks in the Sulphur area. County lifting to the north, so toward Oak Grove. So serious situation there. Don't take that lightly. It's the real deal right there. That's a strong circulation. And back up here in County, there's the rotation with that supercell coming up on Byers. So tornado warning now for Byers. There's the rotation right there, lifting to the north-northeast as well. So Byers, cautions for you. This is the panhandle of McLean County, and then it's heading on up in.
This is a tornado warning.
Here in southern Pottawatomie County, tornado. So don't take that lightly. Circulation center now just to the west of Stratford, the north-northeast, and that also looks like a little tornado vortex signature there just on the west side of Stratford, north-northeast. So Byers up to Asher and Winnett, tornado precautions.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Kansas.
Because these are dangerous likely producing tornadoes. So this is a little mini outbreak, I think, with these supercells in Pontotoc County heading into Seminole County, and also Murray County heading into Pottawatomie, panhandle of McLean County. 3 really significant circulations here ongoing. North-northeast at about 40 miles per hour. Let's go back over to John Slater. He's surveying the damage. You get about 3,800 customers without power in the Norman area. Seems, considering the winds that came through and those little QLCS tornadoes. John, what have you been doing? What have you seen or so?
Across the street by the bank first.
Well, Mike, we've sort of done a quick little survey. Not an expert at this kind of stuff, for sure, and I kind of want to stay in my lane a little bit. You know, I'm beginning to think that there's a chance this may have been a small EF0 type. The damage width is pretty narrow. Goes from about Highway 9 bridge there by the casino over I-35 when it hit southwest of there, or really to the south-southwest, and then came right through Norman. But it's a narrow area, the homeland here north on Robinson, but it didn't hit the target, okay? Right over the airport, the North Campus Airport, but really not much to the east, that narrow area. Within that narrow zone, there was damage. A lot of trees, large limbs snapped off. We didn't see any power outages. Awnings from some building.
This is a tornado warning.
But, you know, looking at radar, that's pretty much what it looked like. You had that to the west, and, you know, maybe you only had a north wind at 40 or 50, which isn't doing a lot of damage. 85-mile-an-hour wind on the east side. It's still a tornado. It's just kind of lopsided. And that's this damage. Again, I'm not an expert whether it was a small EF0 tornado or just straight matter. The damage has been done, but it's not really severe damage. So that's the good thing is it's not, but definitely some damage down here in Norman. Back to you, Mike.
You know, Johnson, you mentioned, you know, perhaps an EF, you know, you'd be looking right at winds about what you estimated that blew right past you down there near the River Bridge on I-35, 80, 85 miles per hour.
Yeah, no doubt. They were definitely as strong as a small tornado, no doubt. I mean, rocking. I mean, I've been through some hurricanes in my time, and they had to be at least 75, maybe even stronger than that. And we were actually blocked from the wind a little bit by some trees. So wind, you could see it on radar, and I'm just happy that no one seems to be on in most locations. We do have some damage around, but nothing that I would call greater than an EF0 from my vantage point. But again, I'm not an expert. The National Weather Service will do the survey, and they'll find out what they find out. Reporting live from Norman, back to you, Mike.
John, job down there. Let's go ahead and go over to Max 1. So Aaron Brackett's showing you the debris signature here, the coefficient, and this is showing you lofted debris.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
Lofted up into the sky, and this occurred as it approached and then really blossomed up as it went across the Turner. It's up here by Kendrick. So that is a debris lofting. That's what that is. Showing up perfectly clear, and it's heading up. So this is going to be to the northeast of Chandler and to the west of Stroud. And it continues to evolve and enhance. So that is a lofting debris. So it's lofting it up into the sky. So say that when you can loft debris and you can see it from radar from a fair distance away, pretty good chance that's greater than an EF0. And it's right over Kendrick, on the southeast side of Kendrick. And we hope that it lifts because it's lofting. So everybody around Kendrick should be in their safe spot. This is in Lincoln County, northwest of and northeast of Chandler. And this will update again closer Kendrick because the velocity shows the couplet there on the southeast and east side of Kendrick. An obvious confirmed tornado because it's lofting debris. This is things like leaves, perhaps other things, but one thing most likely is going to be tree debris and leaves. The radar is actually seeing. So it's lofting debris. That's a debris signature. Let's go back over to velocity. So that's Kendrick, northeast of Chandler, north of Davenport, and the circulation there literally side of Kendrick. Small town up here north of the Turner Turnpike. The debris loft began side of the Turner, so it's fair to say that a tornado physically crossed Pike, and that would have been just literally in the past 3 minutes or so, because the debris started before it got to the Turner, and it kept going, and there's more debris being lofted, more powerful and stronger and more definite and defined. So it's fair to say that a tornado the Turner Turnpike. And the circulation center now east side of Kendrick, moving rapidly to northeast, and this is going to be northwest of Stroud, and it's due north of Davenport, down south of Agra here a little ways. Let's go ahead and take a look at northern Lincoln County. So from Kendrick, it's Shamrock, southeast of Agra, and then up here toward Drumright. That's where that's heading. So that is an ongoing tornado that's lofting debris. There's a weaker signature there, Agra, and another one between Perkins and Tryon. These are these gust front leading edge tornadoes lofting debris on the east side of Kendrick. Go back to your CC, Aaron, and see if it updated, and it did. And zoom on in. So the debris loft is on the east side of Kendrick, literally by 100 yards or so is where the debris loft center is. So it's pretty fair to say that around on the east side of Kendrick and came across the Turner Turnpike. So that is a confirmed tornado lofting debris heading up toward Drumright. So it's going to head out of Lincoln County and go into Creek County and maybe possibly try to skirt the southeast corner of Payne County, southeast of Cushing. Southeast of Cushing here, ongoing tornado, weaker signatures all the way back to Perkins here, lifting to the northeast. So ongoing tornado there, dangerous situation, lofting debris. Let's go back over here and take a look at these supercells. One continues quite strong now north of Sulphur. That's likely still on. And there's debris loft right there. What's interesting is, yeah, wow. So the debris loft started on the west side of Sulphur. and the debris loft is heading off to the northeast. Go to the velocity, and the velocity couplet is maybe just northwest of the debris loft. So it may have either lifted, the debris is coming back down, there's a new tornado, or the debris just kind of fanned out to the tornado or off to the side of it. The tornado's up here, but the debris started back at the Chickasaw Wildlife Refuge and Sulphur, west side, north side of Sulphur. So that's a confirmed tornado as well, debris loft in Murray County right there. So dangerous situation there, northeast of Sulphur. And go back to velocity here. Another couplets up at Oak Grove. So yeah, there's two. There are two on the ground. So here's a tornado.
Greetings from TornadoHQ.com.
Debris loft here, and a stronger signature now at Oak Grove to the north. So it's entirely possible there are twin tornadoes on the ground at the same time. This confirmed debris loft and Oak Grove here.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
And see if we see any debris loft. There's kind of a little zone there of what may be in through here, not impossible. Tough to say yet. That's a little more inconclusive. That's definitely right there. So Roth, you see where it's heading, Roth right here. It's Hugh, southwest of Ada. So Roth, tornado precautions there. Ongoing. Strong signature also, though, northwest of it looks like twin, quite possibly on the ground at the same time. So Roth at 1040. It's 1033 right. Tornado precautions in Roth. Debris loft, ongoing tornado right there confirmed. Heading up toward Roth in 6 minutes from right now. So tornado precautions for Roth. Heading up into Pontotoc County. Let's go ahead and check out those other circulations, the one up by Sasakwa. Ongoing debris loft, no doubt about it. Aaron, before we do that, let's look at this activity here. Potentially something going on right there.
This is a tornado warning.
It's not impossible. Be debris loft right there as well. We'll go to the CC here and look at it. You've got the velocity couplet, and there's something that looks like debris loft even right there. Would be three. There'd be three circulation centers right there, and the motion here to the northeast. So quite possibly debris loft tornado there. Obviously a tornado there. Indication of some type of debris loft going on in between these two. So there could be on the ground right in through here with debris loft. Let's go up to Sasakwa here in Seminole County, and let's jump into that and take a look. Velocities here and look, yeah, wow.
There are two new warnings affecting Oklahoma.
Looks like strong circulation there, and it went on the east side of Sasakwa, and it looks like quite possibly here as well. Holdenville. So
there is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
If that's debris loft right there, there's a fair amount of it. There's a lot of debris loft going on right there. Velocity signature here is on the northeast side of Sasakwa. Yeah.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Kansas.
Holdenville and the west side of Holdenville to the west, literally just minutes away. A tornado that lifting debris, and that could be a strong tornado heading right into Holdenville. So a lot of debris loft, it looks like, over the Spalding, on the south side of Spalding, right in through here. Debris loft heading up toward Holdenville. So situation for Holdenville as well. Interior closet or bathroom away from windows. The lofting debris, so they're all confirmed on the ground down here. And there may be 3 or 4 signs happening right now. So
there is one new tornado warning for Oklahoma.
It's lifting. So Holdenville, west side of Holdenville right now, and then shortly after that time, all around and west of Wetumpka. So tornado warning for you, but it's got a debris strong signature. Nighttime tornadoes, dangerous tornadoes, lifting to the almost due north at around 40 to 45 miles an hour Holdenville literally in about 3 minutes. 7 right now, Holdenville at 1040, and then 1049 at Yeager, and that also area as well. So dangerous situation for you. Don't take it lightly. Take your precautions. This is here. So Holdenville, look at all that. Strong circulation here on the west side of Spalding, right over Spalding, lifting due north. So Holdenville, West Holdenville, lightly, real deal here. Looks like there's debris being lofted as well. So this is a tornado lift, and it's going to be in 2 minutes or so, the West Holdenville to Holdenville area, exactly debris right now. So dangerous situation for you over here in Hughes County, lifting to the north. Aaron, back over to the tornadoes that are back down over coming out of Murray County, and we'll these again. So ongoing.
This is a tornado warning.
Signatures here at the same time. Let's look at the debris signatures. There's 1, and there's 2, and then potentially there's the 3rd one right there. So that one back down to earth as far as the debris is concerned. It's kind of diminishing and going away, but it sure looks like, and then went away. And then down here to the southwest of Vanasse, debris and a big debris signature right around Roth, and that cross confirms on the velocity data on the west side and the southwest side of Roth, showing a couplet there signature. So these are ongoing tornadoes here, so don't take it lightly. Dangerous situation.
Greetings from TornadoHQ.com.
There's one there, and there's one here. There's 2 tornadoes right here. Tornadoes on the ground, west side of Roth, and then also just to the west, lifting up into western Pontotoc County. There's Fitzhugh and there's Ada. So don't take this lightly here, lifting to the north, Pontotoc County, lofting debris here. Situation, nighttime tornadoes do continue here. Let's go ahead and take a look here. On up to the north, so here's that signature down by Wewoka and Holdenville. We'll push on and take a look and see what that one's doing. Okay, so here's Shamrock. Let's see if it's lofting debris or not. Let's hope not. So it was Kendrick, and it went away. It did go away. That's good. So you see that it was there at Kendrick, and then it just went away. That's the loft signature going away. So the debris fluttered back down to near Earth and away, but a tornado warning does continue. There's the circulation right there. So Drumride heads up for Drumride. And then east of Agra, another circulation center there.
There is one new tornado warning for Oklahoma.
So Payne County, coming out of Lincoln County, heads up for Cushing, circulation, and circulation center just east of that, heading up toward Drumride. So everybody in Drumride, in Cushing, should be in their tornado safe spot, away from windows, interior closet or bathroom, basement. Confirmed tornado, and it looked like it did cross the Turner with lofted debris. The Turner and then across the Turner and then up into the Kendrick area, very close to Kendrick, maybe on the east side of Kendrick is where the debris loft was. We've lost the debris loft signature, which is good. Still tornado warnings ongoing here. And
there is one new tornado warning for Missouri.
So that's good. Aaron, thank you. Doing a nice job here, helping to really paint this story. Very rapid, ongoing. A lot of tornadoes on the ground with a lot of debris loft signatures. Let's go ahead and back on out here and take a look at the city. And notice Oklahoma County here is clear. Logan County is clear. McLean County, except for the far eastern panhandle, is clear. And Grady County is clear. And severe storms back down around Belma and Alma. And severe storms around Elmore Valley. A heavy rain, flooding rainfall, hail and wind there. And we'll go ahead and push. Look, we have several tornadoes on the ground down here, and this is coming out of the Sulphur to Roth. Confirmed debris signatures here, ongoing. It's like 2 circulation centers here. That's a tornado there, and this is a tornado here. Side of Roth, and a little ways to the west of that, that's a significant tornado there. Let's go to the CCs, the debris loft signature, and see what that looks like. So that brand new debris loft, yeah. So that came down. It's now lofting debris. So Aaron, let's go ahead and push all the way in. So there's, and maybe a little bit of leftover potentially on the west side of Rolfe of debris, potentially. Definitely a new debris loft right there, right where the TVS or tornado vortex. So that's going to be Pontotoc County, near Rolfe and west of Rolfe, to the northeast, and so it's west of Fitzhugh and west of Ada. So it's up here by Hart, a little ways south of Hart, up to there's Ada right there. So the west side of Ada. So from between Stratford and Ada.
There are 2 new warnings affecting Oklahoma and Texas.
County. Know that these are lofting, and they're lofting debris. So if you're in a mobile home, that would not be safe in this type of situation. Bathroom away from windows, storm cellar or basement. These are lofting debris tornadoes here confirmed. So west of Rolfe and a little ways farther to the west of Rolfe, due south of Stratford is where that is. Due northward, kind of northeastward at 40 miles per hour. So that's ongoing. Outbreak of tornadoes here definitely going on in Murray County, Pontotoc County, and Seminole, and over in Hughes County as well. So a mini outbreak of tornadoes here. Tough to say how many there have been, but there have been quite a few tornadoes down here already, and they're ongoing. So there and over here as we head toward Pickett, and then over as we head up toward the river up there, southern Seminole counties where that's heading, near and to the west of Bing, and between Kanawha and Ashland. One is all heading right there. Pushing on into Holdenville, strong circulation there. That's strong. And this is going to be on the west side of Holdenville, lifting basically due and lofting a whole bunch of debris. Really strong debris signal. Everybody needs to take this so seriously and be where you're going to be safe. Know that mobile homes will not be safe in this type of situation. Interior closet, bathroom, storm, your safe spot wherever that is. So let's go ahead and travel northward. That's a great big debris signature there. So between Yeager and Wewoka, traveling due northward between Yeager and Wewoka, big signature. So this is Hughes County, western Hughes County, just to the west of big debris loft. That is actually debris. The radar sees the debris, so it's on the ground. It's not rain, it's not hail, it's debris.
So that's Twin Lakes. You switch to Tulsa, you can still kind of see it. It's not lined up exactly the same.
And
Tulsa still there.
And the point that Aaron's making is that the Tulsa radar is a lot farther away. So if the Tulsa radar can see this, it's much higher in the sky. And you can
there is one new tornado warning for Oklahoma.
Tornado by how the debris gets lofted. And Tulsa can see this. It's right there. And our site's over at Inola, east of Tulsa, and you can calculate what the beam height is, and it's in like the 8,000 to 10,000 foot range. So there, is that Inola still?
So this is Twin Lakes. I'll switch to Inola. So this is Twin Lakes right now. There's Inola, and you can see there's something there.
Yeah, down.
This is a tornado warning.
There's being blown by the jet stream winds. So that's it right there. And it's up at like 8,000 to 10,000, 8,000 feet from Inola. So lofting debris 8,000 feet up, you can infer the strength of the tornado. And you start talking about up there, F1 range. You start getting up into the EF2 range and potentially, but that is just a pretty much, it's pretty much a scientific approximation that holds pretty true. So you're looking at significant tornadoes here, 2 tornadoes at the very least, and looking at that velocity signature, could be more than that. Life-threatening tornado here between Wewoka and Yeager. So this is a life-threatening tornado just northwest of Holdenville.
There is one new tornado warning for
Anybody
Oklahoma.
In the school area between Wewoka and Yeager and west of Wetumpka, south of Cromwell, they have to be in their tornado safe spot. Could be stronger than EF2. It's lofting debris. It's fair to say many thousands of feet up in the sky. So this is a very significant tornado here, lifting due north arrival. Again, they need to know about this because this is so dangerous at night, and honestly speaking, it could easily be up there EF2 plus type tornado based on how is being lofted. You can see it being lofted all the way from Tulsa, and the Tulsa radar. That's a really strong tornado vortex signature right there. So this is going to be kind of rural sections over here of Hughes County. There's the debris ball continuing. North, it really plumed up there on the western sides of Holdenville. So an automatic assumption that there is some type of tornado damage in through here, because that's what we're seeing.
Right there, look at that. So
yeah,
here's
so
Twin
this
Lakes,
is
and then this is Inola. This is Inola.
And there's Inola, and it's a
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
So from Inola, there's a core like 8,000 feet of debris. So you're talking about you're talking about EF2 and stronger. I think that's a really fair assumption. And you're talking 130 to 140 to 150 mile per hour range on these tornadoes up into the higher EF2 range. So there's Wewoka. So all the way in, and it's a real core of debris. Really is pulling up a lot of debris, and it's pulling it up really high, and it's a solid core of debris. So there's Wewoka, all the city streets in Wewoka here. You're only talking a few miles to the east of Wewoka, a little ways west of Yeager. It's pulling up a core, and Aaron's got the ruler out right there, 2.5 to 3 miles to the east of Wewoka, and it's pulling up a core of heavy debris. And based on how high up that is and the fact it's a core, it's a fair assumption it's an EF2 tornado or stronger, lifting due northward. This is here along the highway here, northbound. Everybody along this highway, northbound here, exceptionally dangerous. Anybody on the highway here, northbound, out of Hawaii, incredibly dangerous, all the way up here to Highway 9. All highway to Highway 9, incredibly dangerous. Everybody here has to be in their safe spot. They can withstand EF2 tornadoes or higher based on that debris ball threatening tornado. So everybody here on this highway has to be in. Mobile homes will get disintegrated with this because how high that's being lofted. EF2 tornado or stronger based on the debris.
There is one new tornado warning for Missouri.
Highway 9. Again, there is Wetumpka here. There's Wewoka here. There's right there, lifting basically due northward through this is northwestern Hughes County, core of heavy debris. It's a very strong signature, a very strong punch of debris. And even from the radar east of Tulsa, which is up there at that 8,000 foot long core of debris. So it's really lofting and pulling it up inside that vortex. So everybody along the highway here, all the way up to Highway 9, they have to know about this. Very much right there along and just to the east of the Seminole-Hughes County line, and way there, lifting to the north up to Highway 9. Very, very. So do take it to heart, because this is a real deal here with a lot of lofting debris. So pass that along to anybody you know. Call them,
there is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
Anybody you know. Cromwell. So it's lifting on up north toward Cromwell. There's Okemah. So there's Fusky County here. And that's probably the strongest tornado in the state right now based on all that debris loft. So fair to say EF2 here based on the debris loft, just east of Wewoka, heading up toward and just east of Cromwell, and then up toward Okemah, Fusky County. Take note, there's Interstate 40 right there. So nobody needs to be on I-40 in through here as that lifts to the north. Ongoing tornado, life-threatening tornado, lifting to the north. Cromwell area 1106, it's 10 now. So that's going to be 14 minutes from now. And then Okemah at 1113, 22 minutes from right now. Okemah, 22 minutes from right now. And then the Castle Bowling, and 24 minutes from right now up in Fusky County. Life-threatening strong tornado, could be a violent tornado in terms of EF scale. A lot of debris loft, sky, very strong core debris, confirmed, no doubt about it. It is the real deal. Take their precautions to save their lives or injury. It's exactly what's going on in northwestern Hughes County, west of Wetumpka and northeast of Wewoka, just barely, and south of Cromwell. Powerful signature here, very hot reds, very basically lifting due north right on the highway. And you see debris lifting up along the highway. Here's Highway 9 running east-west, so it's a 9. And folks, of course, live along these highways, right? So they've got to be in their safe spot. Sure, they know. Real deal here. Night lifting to the north, powerful, pretty good-sized tornado. Is that Inola again? That's Inola now. Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, so again, we're now 1,000 feet or so, and there's just a big-time core debris right there from Inola, which is east of Tulsa, southwest, and that beams up pretty high from all the way in Inola. Inola's over there to the south. It's quite a ways over there, and that's a big debris signature. So EF2 or stronger is in on this. This is a really heavy loft, big heavy loft, right on the highway. So Aaron, let's take a look what's going on here by Jaeger. So it's interesting here, isn't it? It looks like you may have what we call centrifuging debris. So let's go back to the CCs again, and there's like a debris kind of fanning out here, like along the gust front of the tornado. That could be fluttering back down to earth.
There is one new tornado warning for Oklahoma.
When we show you tornadoes during the day, and we can see them like from the chopper, for example, you can see it happening. May 20th and more would be a case where we saw centrifuging. May 3rd and things like that. It looks like there's centrifuging debris, and notice there's a donut. So fair to say EF2 could be stronger really easily. Don't want to estimate what it is, but EF2 or higher with a real potential of EF3 and more. A lot of centrifuging debris coming back down, fluttering back down to earth on the front flank, which is not what you want to see. All this coming back down right here, big core debris. Itself, that's the tornado right there on the highway, now approaching highway. So this is going to be due north of Holdenville, life-threatening situation right here. To see this at night especially, let's hope everybody gets the message and they know that it's coming, because this is Highway 9 on the highway here, lifting almost due north, lots of high, and centrifuging back down, indicating a big debris swath. All this on radar, and that's exactly what's happening. There's just no doubt about it. Centrifuge all fluttering back down to earth here on the front flank of the tornado, all the way back down to southwest of back down to earth right there. That's the tornado right there. So lifting due northward into Fusky County here. So heads up for Cromwell, probably goes east of Cromwell. Okemah heads up for Okemah, pretty much red line, center line for Okemah. Ongoing damage tornado, northwestern Hughes County, lifting up toward Okemah. So now Highway 9 at the highway, lifting up toward Okemah, life-threatening situation. No 40 out here either side of Okemah. It's going to be crossing, if it doesn't, 40 in Fusky County in about 19 to 20 minutes. Right now it's 10:56, so 11:15 or so. If it doesn't lift, it's going to be crossing 40 around Okemah. Aaron doing a nice job here helping to paint this picture. So there's your time.
This is a tornado warning.
There is one new tornado warning for Oklahoma.
And IXL, they're north of Okemah at 11:24. On threatening, powerful, big debris lofting tornado here. This is the right now.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Oklahoma.
Hughes County heading into Fusky County, lofting debris. Let's go ahead and take a quick look elsewhere, Aaron. Stay with that. It's not going to go away.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
It's right there at Highway 9. Look at the big hook the big hook there, right there. Great big hook on it with ball. That's a debris ball signature right there. Had an eye on it earlier, and that's a big there. That's a powerful, powerful tornado. EF2 plus, and EF2 is likely heading due northward toward Okemah. So Okemah heads up. Everybody east of Cromwell heads up, very close to Cromwell, heads up. Real deal, life threat. It's happening right now. Let's go back over to these other systems that we have back down to the southwest. Going tornadoes here in the Murray County area and coming out of Carter County. There's a circulation center east of Springer coming out of northeastern Carter County. Strong there, just came over Gene Autry. Here, so there are a lot of tornado outbreak is in progress right now in our state. So big area up there, just northeast of Gene Autry, lifting to the north-northeast. So damaging tornado and somewhat of an indication there of a debris ball as well. Autry down here in sections of Carter County heading into East County. And let's go ahead and take a look here. Some weaker rotation there just east of Davis. It doesn't appear to be too threatening at the moment in time. Looks like an area here of rotation near Pickett. And just to the west of Ada, that's the ongoing damaging tornado there. That back down near south of Vanoss and Hart. And the circulation now between Pickett. So Pickett is to the west of Ada, lifting to the north-northeast. And rotation there just
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
So that's a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado warning attached to it. Hilton is where that is. And let's see if we had any intermittent debris signatures.
There is one new tornado warning for Oklahoma.
And nothing really conclusive right there. Maybe some hint, but nothing really there. But the mesocyclone there, very close to Oilton. And it just tracked between Drum and Cushing, lifting up toward Jennings and Tarleton and on up the Motor Speedway up at Hallett. This is up in Pawnee County. That's where that one's tracking. Tornado warning there. It looks to be near or on the west side of Oilton. Jennings, Hallett is where that is tracking right now. And a lot of damaging wind in here as well, all along that county. Over into Northern Creek County, heading into Pawnee County. Quite a bit of damaging winds in through there. Really coming through the Bristow area right now. Bristow, a lot of high velocity winds. Ongoing situation in northern Hughes County.
This is a tornado warning.
Still velocity DC signature as well. And Aaron, it looks like it's weakened just a little bit. Let's hope so.
Yeah, it looks like it's weakened just a little bit here. And we're looking at the Twin Lakes. Over to Tulsa, which is Inola, which is south and east or east of the Tulsa area. Shooting from pretty far away. And, you know, we're still seeing maybe something here, but that could be falling debris either on either one of these radars, actually. And earlier, as Mike was saying, that on the backside, which could be falling from up high. After it got lofted, it gets sucked up into the air, things like branches and leaves and anything that could get sucked up, and then it kind of falls out of the... So I can kind of back this up here. So we'll go back to about, this is going to be a 30-minute loop. Holdenville, so there it is. This is 10:30. It's now just 11 o'clock. So you got Spalding, 10:35, 10:40, right just west of Holden, right there, and then coming up just between Wewoka and Yeager. That's exactly where the debris is possibly continuing to fall out of the sky, as we've seen right there. So that is the last 30 minutes on. It looks like over 30 minutes continuous, and now it continues moving almost due north.
Aaron, let's go ahead and zoom on into Holdenville, and we're just talking to Mark Dillard here while you're passing that information. Correctional Center. So Mark Dillard, I'd say right there, tell me if that looks right to you. So 2 miles west of right there, these streets that you see right here, that's exactly where it It's the Davis Correctional Center, and Aaron's taking it frame by frame by frame. See there? And then see the CC here, the debris signature, and take a look here. It was on the ground all the way to Holdenville. So here it is coming up from the south. It's all debris. It's all debris. And the blue, the whites and the blue are really heavy debris. So the Davis Correctional Center there, Holdenville, we would be really surprised if it did not take some type of a debris ball with the tornado vortex signature with lofting debris right over it on the western side of Holdenville. And I'm sure the folks in Holdenville are aware of what's going on out here on the west side of town, and we'll try to get information from that area as soon as to be where that tracked right there. You're looking at the actual tornado vortex colors you see inside of that.
There is one new tornado warning for Oklahoma.
Over the day, about 2 miles west of Holdenville. So Aaron, let's take a look. The debris ball has weakened some up there coming out of Hughes County now, crossed over 9, and now it's weakened some, about to come into Fusky County right now.
Yeah, it looks like it's definitely weakened and broadening out. A little bit of something that might be just off to the west of Yeager, and then Highway 9. That could be still some debris that's down from the cloud base. But right now we'll go ahead and switch over and take a look at our well, let's go to reflectivity first. We'll do reflectivity and then take a look at, you can that big notch right there. That's now just off to the west, or the south and east of Cromwell. So there, moving basically right up Highway 48 and about to cross I-40. Let's see how many I-40. So we can kind of measure this here. 6 miles to I-40. That's going to be near Okemah and I-40 here. And the movement about 35, 40 miles per hour. That's not going to take too long, just a couple minutes time. So we'll go to our velocity, and it's still, you know, very much there.
This is a tornado warning.
South and east of, measure that there. It's only 4 miles, 3 to 4 miles. Let's go 3 miles off to the south. So that's going to be very, very close. And it's moving about due north. So hopefully it goes and stays. It's likely going to stay to your east, but a lot of these tornadic winds and stretch outside of this. So just be very careful. Take your tornado precautions. Basically moving right toward you. This is your time. This is your call to warning. It's time. It's past. You got to get to your safe area, storm shelter. If you have one below ground, interior room. Okemah. Let's measure here how far from Okemah. So I'm going to go at the leading edge of the circulation. Well, this says 8. We're going to go 7. It's only 7 miles away from Okemah right now, and it's going to be very, very close. It's moving due north, possibly a little bit of an eastward movement. They can waver back and forth a little bit. It does happen. So Okemah, you're right in the middle of that tornado warning, and you might be looking at this. The warnings, the tornado warnings, why are some of them red, and why are some of them that pink color? A good reason for that. The pink color can mean one of two things. It can mean tornado observed, or it can see. And tornado observed, this is 100%, as Mike was talking about, you know, being lofted up into the air. It's not hail, it's not rain, it's the ground that's been lofted up in the air. And our newsroom is checking for damage such as Holdenville and Yeager. It appeared to pass right over toward the west sides of toward the correctional center right there. We saw the debris pattern as it did so. So this is really a situation. We're going to come right back to this, but I want to just kind of show you, for those folks in Oklahoma City, thunder and lightning, this is all just general rain right now. So this is general rain, Piedmont, Oklahoma City. Moore, Norman. We had tornado warnings in Moore, Norman. Those have long since expired, even toward Paul's over toward Velma and Walters, general rain. Look at the tornado warnings here. Up I-35, Ardmore, Springer, Sulphur, Mill Creek. There are 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 up near Cushing and Yale. Tornado warnings ongoing right now across eastern and southern parts of the state. Velocity right now for some of these, and it still appears that I mean, we've some circulations. This one is south of Sulphur, moving basically right towards Sulphur. deal right there. And of course, we continue to watch near Ada and more so toward Bing. And then this big that had a very large debris signature for a long time that's moving off to the south and east of Cromwell, approaching Oak. We'll put a storm track on that. I'm going to go toward the leading edge of this thing. So basically right toward Oak is 11:16. It is 11:07 right now. So under 10 minutes, about minutes right now. IXL 11:24 and Okfuskee at 11:33. This is going to I-40 in just a matter of minutes. It's only going to be a couple minutes, and this is going to cross right over I-40. A threatening tornado, one that has lofted debris, likely 8, 9, 10,000 from what we're seeing here from multiple radar sites. We'll go ahead and take a look at that correlation coefficient or the debris. Yeah, I mean, it appears that there might still be something there, either falling debris from earlier or debris right now, a mile or so south and east of Bearden, right there.
Boy, this is a really serious right now, too. Really serious. So looking at it, it's a core there. A tornado vortex with debris inside of it. So really dangerous here for Okemah. Push on in here. The supercell really shows no real sign of weakening. Debris signature there getting stronger again.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Texas.
So really dangerous situation for Okemah. And let's go ahead and push on into a close look. So I-40, everybody around I-40, around Okemah should highway. There's a increasing chance that a tornado is going to cross I-40. Chance there's going to be a tornado in the immediate Okemah area. So there's all the city streets. The north side of 40 right there. And then the lofted debris signature is back almost due south of Okemah, lifting just about due northward. And it's red line. This needs to lift, and it needs to lift fast. So still likely a damaging tornado ongoing here, just about 7 minutes south of I-40, lifting northward. So 6 to 7 minutes in the lift, it's going to be crossing I-40. And here's Okemah right here. Core of debris. Aaron, let's go over to Inola and look at Inola again and see what you see from the radar east of Tulsa. Be a little higher up in the atmosphere, and we'll see if we still see that debris signature here too. So again, so you see it, a core there from Inola as well. So it's still a strong, more than likely, lofting debris there, lifting up toward Okemah. So likely a now just about 5 to 6 minutes south of I-40, and you folks in everyone in Okemah should be in their safe spot or going there right. And keep in mind, mobile homes will not be safe with tornadoes of this strength. To know that, we've already verified here with the debris being lofted so high in the sky. Powerful tornado. And that is the correctional center, by the way, is Allen Gamble Center on the west side of Holdenville. Allen Gamble. They changed the name on that a few years ago. On the west side of Holdenville, and we're checking in with Holdenville officials right now to check on damage there, but there's been debris lofted on up, and again, it's now literally 4 minutes or so from crossing, so it's basically just about 5 to 6 miles outside of Okemah, and it's line. In other words, it's on the ground right now with lofted debris, and that's a confirmation. Let's go back over to Twin Lakes here and take a look. So there's your tornado right there. East. So it may be favoring potentially the west side of Okemah, but again, they can wobble back and forth as they move along. It may be favoring, the western side of Okemah, the most likely track. And there's I-40. Here's Okemah right here. And the TVS or tornado vortex signature, just about 2 miles or so south of, now about 3 miles or 3 minutes away. So by 11:14, 11:15, or right at that time, 11:14, it may cross I-40, and the probability may be on Okemah, but again, it can wobble some. It's a debris lofting, strong tornado situation. There's the tornado with the debris loft. Still pretty much red line, center line for. You see the motion there. So everybody in Okemah, all of Okemah, tornado safe spot. It may actually be heading right, red line, center line, right into Okemah the way it looks. Now literally just about 1.5 miles south of 40. A lot of debris there.
There is one new tornado warning for
Reflectivity
Oklahoma.
Here, Aaron, look at the hook. Big open, what we call an open hook, supercell, fresh inflow coming in. A little donut hole right there. Debris ball. So this is likely a big tornado. It is on the ground. That's all. So don't take it lightly. Life-threatening situation for Okemah. Stay away from windows, as many walls of your home as possible. Storm cellar or basement, if you have it, by far the best. Interior closet or bathroom. Just not a good situation here at all for Okemah. Call them, text them if you have friends or relatives or loved ones in Okemah, anybody you know. Make sure they know it's away. Shows no signs of lifting, and it's lofting debris up really high into the sky. It's a damaging tornado. There's the debris ball. Pretty much red line, center line. So really dangerous situation for Okemah. Over at Fusky, I-40 here. Nobody should be on I-40. I'm sure the OHP is well aware of this. The debris signature there now literally about 1.5 miles south of 40. A minute or two away from crossing 40. And it's pretty much red line for Okemah. It's wobbling a little bit back and forth, but now it's wobbled more toward a red line for Okemah. And it's been on the ground for a long time, all the way west of Holdenville. It's been on the ground the whole time, lofty debris the whole time, 8 and higher into the sky, punching a big debris column up with debris fluttering back down. And you see what you'd never want to see, and that is a tornado potentially heading right into any town. Here's Okemah right here, red line center coming out of the Holdenville Yeager area a while ago. There it is right there, lifting right. So the time is now literally a minute or two away. You've got to be in your safe spot.
This is a tornado warning.
Okemah coming in right now. Tornado warning, Okemah lifting up across I-40 right now. The center of that circulation there appears to be potentially, again, on the kind of southwest side. Aaron, let's go to the debris signature.
There is one new tornado warning for Oklahoma.
The center appears to be, just right up toward Okemah. The tornado there right on the east side of the tornado signature. So the debris probably being blown a little bit off by the jet stream wind. Heavy debris. And again, we can't emphasize any more than we are. This is for Okemah. Every indication are that it's going to be town right now. Some debris signature now basically on the south side of 40. Text moving in, and it looks to be a big, powerful tornado. It has been a big, powerful. A lot of debris up really, really high.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Oklahoma.
This is here. You can see it's a little bit off. This is Twin Lakes, which is going to be a little closer. And yeah, I see what you're saying with the correlation coefficient. So there's velocity. I draw a little circle here so we can see. So here's the center, and then we can switch it to correlation coefficient. It might be a little farther to the east, maybe a little bit.
Yeah. So it's either being maybe blown a little bit to the east by the strong jet stream over us. So basically we're just kind of splitting hairs. Looks like right into the middle of Okemah, might favor slightly on the west side of town, but it's very. Everybody in Okemah on I-40 right now, on I-40, and what we is debris signature to get any more prominent. That would indicate heavier debris coming. Want to see that, so we're looking for the updates here. But that green color, that's a moderate signature earlier.
This is a tornado warning.
Debris signature. So the time is now. There's a tornado now coming in to town. Just now across, either due south of Okemah or just on the southwest side of Okemah, and it's moving northward. There's your velocity, peaking basically right there on the southwest side is where it is, lifting almost due northward.